The Mariners are back on the road, and for the first time this summer, the gorgeous Veterans Field in Chatham. I call it the capital of the Cape. I'm Luke Brenneman alongside Milo Hoffman. We'll be with you all night on the Mariners radio network. And Harwich looks to make it 3 consecutive wins tonight after a demolishing of Hyannis. 10-6. The Mariners had 13 hits last night on the road, and here we go tonight again on the road in Chatham. It'll be the lefty Trey Williford getting the ball against the A's, against the right-hander Duke Stone. Chatham comes into this one 4-5-1 through their first 10 on Cape Cod, but they lost their first 4 of the summer and have been playing much better baseball as of late, Milo.
Yeah, Chatham is starting to pick it up. Did lose their last game against Falmouth. It's been an off day sprinkled in since then. And yesterday they lost to Falmouth 4-3. That was on Wednesday, and then off day yesterday. So they're trying to pick it back up after winning 4 straight games. You heard it there, 4 straight after losing their first 4 of the season. So yeah, the Chatham A's made the top 5 in the power rankings here in the Cape this season. So just trying to keep the momentum going against a Harwich team that has been really, really good this season. 7-3, had a little bit of a dip there, lost 2 in a row, but then 2 straight off days, and now the Mariners have one back-to-back.
Here's the Mariners lineup tonight. Harwich leads off with the right fielder Colin Larson, who may just be the hottest player on Cape Cod right now. More on him when he kicks things off. Batting second, playing left, his second consecutive start on the Cape. Jackson Hotchkiss, the new Arizona State transferred. Batting third, the designated hitter Ty Smolinski leads the team in runs batted in and home runs. 4, 5, and 6 goes Cade Curlin, the second baseman out of Florida. J.P. Peltier, the third baseman out of Wright State, and Charlie Bussey, the first baseman out of Division II St. Francis Marion. 7, 8, 9, Sean James, the catcher out of Mississippi State. A tough task going against his teammate Duke Stone, the starter tonight for the A's. Micah Kirikoff playing center out of Kent State. And rounding out the Mariners lineup, making his Cape Cod League debut, the shortstop out of Cal Poly, Nate Castellone. Duke Stone is warming on the hill, and he's hard to miss. 6'5", 235 right-hander, a rising junior out of Mississippi State, hometown Uvalde, Georgia. And in 2026 for Mississippi State, appeared 18 times, started 15 times, 79 2/3 innings pitched, 7-3 for record, a 5.31 ERA, struck out 107, and walked just 29 batters. Colin Larson digs in. This should be a fun start. Larson, in just the last 2 games alone, has now taken possession of the top of the team, tied with Smolinski in runs batted in, tied with Smolinski now with 2 home runs, and he's gone back-to-back nights, putting one over the fence. First offering. We're off and running. Fastball up high. Ball 1. First pitch, 7:02, 68 degrees. A beautiful overcast night in Chatham. Hundreds of people continue to pile in to one of the more gorgeous ballparks on the Cape. The 1-0 nails the outside corner. 1-1. Stone pitched on the Cape last summer. He was the ace for the Anglers. Started 4 times, pitched 27 innings. The 1-1 taken down the middle fastball. Now it's 1-2 on Larson. He had a 3.33 earned run average, struck out 38, walked just 6. So the control is there, but the strikeout stuff too. Here's the 1-2. Larson, ground ball right side. It sneaks through into right field, a base hit. He was 4 for 4 last night and carries it over into a leadoff knock to get things going here on the road. And the man who's stolen 8 bases so far for the M's this summer is on with nobody out.
Yeah, Colin Larson just keeps on swinging a red-hot bat. He has been unbelievable. One of the hottest hitters for the Mariners so far this season, and he has been probably the hottest hitter in the Cape over the last couple of days, and he's come through for the M's and already getting on the board today.
Here's Jackson Hotchkiss. Takes a ball low and away, 1-0. Hotchkiss made his Mariner debut last night. The outfielder out of Washington went 1 for 5 with a double. Had a monster year in the Big Ten. Was second in the conference with 20 home runs. Hit .337 for average. Stone looks in and fires. 1-0. Larson goes. Throw down to second. Pulls the shortstop off the base, but Neville applied the tag. And Reynolds, the catcher, threw out Colin Larson. For just the second time in 10 tries this summer, Larson is caught stealing, and now there's one out with nobody on in the top of the first inning.
Wow, what a throw. Reynolds up the line a little bit to the right of the second base bag, and then Colin Larson was caught, tagged on the leg, it seemed, as he lunged towards second base. But a nice throw from Corbin Reynolds.
So one out. Now 1 ball and 1 strike on the second hitter for the Mariners, Hotchkiss. Here's the pitch. Hotchkiss waves and misses at a slider away. Now 1-2. The pitch mix tonight for the right-hander Stone: fastball, changeup, slider, curveball. Changeup and slider are his 2 punch-out pitches. Uses those 2 combined over 40% of the time. 1-2, swing and a miss at a high fastball. There's quickly 2 down now in the top of the first.
Yeah, just a fastball perfectly placed on the upper half of the zone, and Hotchkiss down swinging. He hit .337 at Washington this past season, so he has great contact power, but just trying to get it going consistently with the Mariners so far. Has 1 hit, picked up a double yesterday for the M's.
Here's Smolinski. He's the DH tonight. He's been the everyday shortstop since the absence of Julio Solier. Look out, high and tight with a fastball, ball 1. So Larson is now 5 for his last 5 with this single to kick off this game, but after being caught stealing on a pitch where he didn't really get a good jump, Larson has some of the fastest legs on Cape Cod. There's now 2 outs with nobody on. The 1-0, Smolinski, swing and a miss, 1-1. Stone has not pitched on Cape Cod so far this summer, a late arrival, but for a guy that threw a whopping 79 innings at school, as the 1-1 is foul-tipped straight back, and now it's 1-2 on Smolinski. Maybe a late arrival is justified. And he had a 3.33 ERA here last summer, was their ace, and a guy that manager Dennis Cook is a big fan of. 1-2 to Smolinski. The pitch right on the outside corner, cold, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs after a leadoff single and a caught stealing on Larson. The Mariners go in the minimum in the top of the first. We'll be back in the home half on the Mariners Radio Network. Back here in Chatham, the Mariners go in order in the top of the first, and now it's the A's. Here in the home half, left-hander Trey Williford kicks, fires, cold strike 1 with the fastball against the leadoff man playing second, Rob Rispoli out of UConn. Trey Williford now in his 3rd start of the summer on Cape Cod. He's pitched 9 1/3, giving up 4 earned runs. The 0-1 fastball away. ball and a strike. But he struck out a whopping 13 batters, just walked 3 via the walk in 9 1/3 innings of action. Kicks and fires the 1-1. That gets away from the catcher, James. Pitch was low. Now 2-1. Williford, the 6'3", 215 left-hander out of Farmville, North Carolina. Plays collegiately at UNC Wilmington. The Seahawks had a nice year, and Williford was just named a first-team freshman All-American. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Rispoli slices one down the line. That's foul into the seats. Now 2-2. Williford at school started 18 of 17 appearances, 67 1/3 innings pitched, 7-2 for record, a 3.34 ERA with 89 strikeouts in those 67 innings. Here's the 2-2 to Rispoli. Pitch low and away. Now 3-2. Alongside Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. Sorry about the technical difficulties with the audio in the first. Should be good to go here the rest of the way. Rispoli, the right-handed hitter, digs in, hitting 294 on the Cape. Here's the payoff pitch, fouled straight back. We'll do it again.
Yeah, Trey Williford, when he's going right, he's commanding that fastball well, and right now it's an excellent leadoff at bat from Rispoli, and he's just fighting off all these heaters that Trey Williford is dealing to him, so credit to the leadoff man for the Anglers.
Another payoff pitch. That's way high with a fastball. Leadoff walk for Rispoli. And the Anglers have the leadoff man aboard in the first. That's our first free pass of the game, presented by the Cape Cod Community College. Go to Cape Cod Community College for free. Every program, no tuition or fees for those that qualify. capecod.edu/free for more. Leadoff man Rispoli aboard. Here's Bino Waters. Had a monster year at Notre Dame and is now going to LSU. First pitch fastball in there. Called strike one. Waters so far on the Cape, a slow start, 4 for 21, 2 runs batted in. But the opposition and the pitchers, they've respected Waters. 7 base on balls in his first 21 at-bats. Williford in the left-on-left matchup. Checks on the runner at first, comes home with the 0-1 in the dirt, blocked by the catcher James, 1-1.
Yeah, Waters was a first-team All-ACC member this past season. In 2025, he was a freshman All-America second team and ACC All-Freshman team, so he's been a very standout collegiate player thus far.
Here's the 1-1. High fly ball, left center field. Bussey going back, Kirikoff to the track, and he makes the play on the track. A long run for the Mariners center fielder Kirikoff, but a loud fly out for out number 1 in the first.
Now this Bark Veterans Field, 385 to dead center, but over there in left center field, about 357. So the gaps are short here at Veterans Park. So if you hit in the air, it can go a long way.
314 down the right field line and 340 down the left field line.
A little short porch over there and right.
So Rispoli still at first after his leadoff walk. Here's Connor Schaus, the DH out of Texas Tech. Check on the runner at first. Rispoli's back with just a lunge. Mariners rocking their road baby blue retro uniforms. Tall socks coming in with the red primary color, white trim, and the navy outline. First pitch bounces in the dirt. A nice block from the catcher James again. 1-0 on Schaus. For Chatham, it's the all-white unis. The royal blue lettering, the Chatham A's logo on the right shoulder, and the royal blue helmets. Something about Chatham that just screams American summer. And Williford comes home with a 1-0. That's well outside. 2-0. This is an awkward start here for Williford, Milo. I mean, we're talking about a guy in his last time out against Orleans on the 19th of the month. Pitched 6 innings of 1 hit, no run baseball.
Yeah, I mean, he has a 3.86 ERA so far this summer, and he only had 3 walks, like you say, coming into the day. Already has 1.
2-0 pitch. That's a little bit away. Williford, a big, deep breath. Thought that the home plate umpire, Tom Augusta, missed one. But now Williford staring down the barrel. 3-0 to Connor Schaus. Schaus leads this team with a .378 batting average, has knocked in 6, has 3 doubles. And before the 3-0, another check on Rispoli over there at first base.
Yeah, this field is just gorgeous. You got the Wind breezing out. Not a sunny day, an overcast sky here, but still nice.
3-0, get me over fastball, called strike one. And now Schaus is going to have to dig in for an at-bat. See if Williford can bounce back. Remember, the leadoff man Rispoli off of first walked to get this game going in a long at-bat. 3-1, swing and a foul tip, caught by the catcher James. Williford trying to battle back here, full count on Schaus.
Yeah, that a 91-mile-an-hour pitch from Williford. He tends to sit in the low to mid-90s with the fastball.
Here's the payoff pitch. Got him on the inside corner, called strike three. Falling behind 3-0 with truly no competitive pitches in the first three. And paint, and more paint to put Schaus down looking. Williford's first strikeout, now 2 down in the first.
Yeah, that's what Trey Williford does. You always feel like he's in the at-bat. Even if he's down 3-0, even if the count may be 3-1, you feel like he has the command to come back, and that's exactly what he did just then against Schaus.
That brings up Cooper Neville. Cleanup man leads this team with a dozen RBIs. Matter of fact, he leads all of Cape Cod with his 12 runs batted in. Neville hitting .278, has put one over the fence, and he's also got speed. So he's hitting for power, he's bringing guys in, and when he gets on, he's putting himself in scoring position. Runner at first, 2 outs. First pitch, called the strike. The catcher James popped up looking for the back pick against Rispoli off of first. No dice.
Yeah, Rispoli almost went halfway there, bluffed the steal, tried to take second, but then retreated back when he was about, I don't know, a quarter of the way to second base. Only has 1 stolen base on the season over there at first.
Left on left matchup with Neville and Williford. The 0-1 hanging breaking ball drips right in there, 0-2.
That's gorgeous.
Neville had a solid season at Dallas Baptist, and he's earned himself a transfer to Alabama in the SEC. Neville at school hit .317, knocked in 38. He's down 0-2. Runner goes, and Williford checked on him. That was a nasty move from the left-handed starter Williford. He lifted his leg up towards the mound, but the left-hander staring at first base and Rispoli, and when he made his initial lunge to go to second, Williford had to stay disciplined, and the check on the runner was a little bit late to avoid a balk. 0-2 pitch, outside with the fastball, 1-2.
Now, Williford doesn't have that command tonight that we've seen over these first couple of starts, but, you know, you're not going to have your ace stuff every single night. And obviously, we're just in the first inning. Still plenty of time to settle in for Williford on the mound.
Trying to get out with no damage. Runner at first, 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Neville. Just a little bit away. A borderline take and a good one from the shortstop Neville. Once again, Tom Augusta kicking things off as the home plate umpire, saying it's going to be tight tonight, gentlemen, and with 2 really solid starters, this is going to be a fun one to see unfold. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss at a slider in the dirt. That's strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs. Ends the first inning after a leadoff walk to Rispoli. No damage. We're through 1 here at Veterans Field in Chatham. We'll be right back on the Mariners Radio Network. Top of the second here in Chatham. No score between the Mariners and the Anglers. Alongside Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. And for those tuned in tonight on the Mariners Radio Network, if you haven't been to Veterans Field, you should try and get here, because it is a gorgeous ballpark. And the start of the second is brought to you by Milton Cat, proud to power the Cape all summer long. Milton Cat. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Mariners. They went in order against the right-handed starter Duke Stone to get things going. Here's Cade Kurland. He digs in for a right-on-right matchup. Kurland just 4 for his first 12. A nice start here on Cape Cod as a pair of doubles. First pitch, ground ball to short. Neville charges, now goes back, gloves, fires, and executes. One down on one pitch to kick off the second frame.
Yeah, I was going to say Cade Kurland's at-bats have been very promising. He was, like you said, 4 for 12 coming into that AB, but it seemed like every time that he put the ball in play, he was either hard hit, had a chance to beat out a grounder, but their first pitch swing and tried to jump on the pitcher, Duke Stone.
Here's J.P. Peltier. Was batting second for the last 4 games coming into this one, but with now Jackson Hotchkiss, Peltier down to 5. First pitch swinging, slow roller, third base side, bare hand by Polino, and he eats it up, keeps it in the glove. That's an infield hit for J.P. Peltier, and the Mariners have a runner on with one down in the second.
Yeah, just a little dribbler that Polino made the quick decision not to throw that over to first base. Kind of caught it at a weird angle. He squeezed it in between his body and hand for a split second, but I think a good decision not to make that throw.
See if the Mariners can strike first. That's something that Harwich has done now in 8 of their first 10 games this summer on Cape Cod. The Mariners are 7-3 coming into tonight. Here's Charlie Bussey. First pitch. Bussey takes high and tight, ball 1. Fastball from Stone comes in around 93. Changeup and slider at 87 on the radar gun. And the curveball brings it way down to 79. It's fastball about 45% of the time. Stone kicks and fires. Runner goes from first. Fastball high, throw down. Did Chatham get him again? No. Peltier stayed on the bag after his second effort with the tag from the shortstop Neville. But keep an eye on Corbin Reynolds. That's now 11 for 11 from Peltier on stolen base attempts this summer. That's number 1 on the Cape. And that was the closest we've seen it all summer long.
And Corbin Reynolds already threw out Colin Larson, who's number 2 in the Cape in stolen bases this season. He's got an arm right there.
So now a runner in scoring position. 2-0 pitch to Bussey. That's way upstairs. Now 3-0. Peltier in scoring position after an infield single and the stolen base. Duke Stone trying to work out of trouble. 3-0 pitch to Bussey. Swing and a miss. Charlie had the green light, but was late on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Now 3-1. Catcher Sean James on deck. That's a good story. Sean James plays at Mississippi State for the Bulldogs. And the starter out there right now, Duke Stone, is a Bulldog. 3-1, hanging breaking ball up high. Ball 4.
Yeah, Charlie Bussey doing what he does best. 9 walks now on the season for Bussey. That leads the Mariners towards the top of the leaderboards of the entire league. And so now some speed on the base paths for the M's.
So here's Sean James, and not only is this a Mississippi State connection against the starter Duke Stone, Sean James is a catcher at Mississippi State.
Right.
So he knows, he calls pitches against Stone. Now he's trying to drive in a run in the second inning. First offering, breaking ball, up and away, 1-0.
Yeah, Sean James in his last game played for the Mariners. He had that go-ahead RBI single to give the Mariners the lead over Wareham. That was a couple of days ago, so trying to get it going offensively.
Second baseman Rob Rispoli sprints over to the pitching mound, talks to the right-hander Duke Stone, maybe just trying to calm him down.
Yeah, don't see that too often.
Stone walked Bussey on just 5 pitches. Now he's down 1-0 on a non-competitive breaking pitch to kick off the at-bat against the Mariners' Sean James. First and second, 1 down, top of the second, no score in Chatham. Stone kicks and fires, 1-0. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball away. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Bussey off of first, Peltier off of second. Kirikoff on deck. 1-1 count to the Harwich catcher James. Stone working from the stretch, looks in, and comes home. James stays away from a fastball outside, now 2-1. Jay Powell, along with Dennis Cook, the pitching coach for the Anglers in his second summer, came with Dennis Cook 2 summers ago to Chatham. This is a big job to have on the Cape. 2-1 pitch, James pops it up, drifting foul, and into the seats behind home plate, about 4 rows up. Look out. Counts 2-2.
Luke, don't you feel like us calling the game here, we're kind of just like an ant, like calling the game? There is so much happening. I feel like everywhere you look, there's people moving around. There's a playground and a right. There's probably, I don't know, 100, 200 people out in the outfield over there in the grass. I mean, there's just so much going on right here at Veterans Field.
That's what I mean with the Dennis Cook job. Having this job, there are thousands of people that come to your games here in Chatham. 2-2 pitch. James fights it off foul. Or pardon me, it wasn't a foul ball. It squirted out of the catcher Reynolds' mitt. That's strike 3. Swing and a miss. Now 2 down in the second. The third punch out of the night for the starter Stone, and a big one against his Mississippi State teammate.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought he foul tipped that from our vantage point as well, but just a swing and a miss there from Jones. Let's see if Kirikov can get it going.
2 outs. Runners stay put at first and second. Here's Micah Kirikov. Stone. A long look in. First pitch. Breaking ball. Little bit too high. 1-0. So for a guy that struck out a whopping 107 hitters at school, Duke Stone, the control is a little bit of an issue here in the second inning. Trying to work out of trouble. First and second, 2 out, no score. Early on here in Chatham, 1-0. Kirikov doesn't even have to look at that one. That was way above his forehead. High fastball, 2-0. Kirikov hitting .208 for average on the summer, has knocked in a pair and has 1 extra base hit. It was a double last Friday in Falmouth. 2-0 pitch. That's up and away. Fastball, 3-0. Seen a steady dose of fastballs from the starter Stone. He only throws that pitch at 45%. Most guys throw their fastball around 55-60%. Stone has so much command with the changeup and slider. Trying to find that here tonight. 3-0 pitch to Kirikov. That's outside. A 4-pitch walk, the second of the inning from Stone. And the Mariners have the bases loaded with 2 outs. And a man making his Harwich debut, the shortstop out of Cal Poly, Nate Castellone, is going to dig in.
Yeah, really excited to see Castellone. 328 this past season at Cal Poly, 5 home runs and 31 RBIs. I mean, just an exciting shortstop. We saw him a couple days ago when he arrived, go into the clubhouse and pick out his bat. What's he going to rock with the Mariners? So, and a nice debut for him.
Pitching coach for the Anglers, Jay Powell, goes out to the mound. Pats Duke Stone on the mound. And now he turns around to come back to the dugout. The infield collapses off of the pitcher. Kirikov at first, Charlie Bussey at second, Peltier off a third. The bases are loaded with 2 outs in the top of the second. The Mariners have their 9-hole hitter, Nate Castellone, up for the first time this summer. A right-on-right matchup with Stone. Castellone only struck out 14 times at school. Stone struck out 100 plus. First pitch. Fastball up high. Ball 1. An interesting spot here because Stone has now thrown 5 consecutive balls. Should Castellone see a strike, or if he gets one to hit, let it rip. The 1-0. Swing and a foul ball down the right field line. That answers that question.
Yeah, Castellone crouches in the box. Seems like a real contact type of guy, and the numbers would agree with that. Just looking to get on base any way he can.
1-1 on the Mariners shortstop. The pitch. Away, slider. 2 balls and a strike. Castellone has a really good eye. Mentioned the 14 strikeouts, walked 24 times. An on-base plus slugging rate at .848 at school. Not a big power guy, but he can get a big hit. 2-1, fastball at the eyes, ball 3. There's nowhere to put him. The bases are loaded with 2 outs in the top of the second. This was Chatham's ace from a season ago, coming off another nice year at Mississippi State. 3-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, a challenging fastball. And now the runners will get a head start in a full count. 3-2 on Castellone. bases are juiced. A big pitch here. Top of the order looming on deck if Castellón can find his way on. Stone kicks, fires, payoff. Ground ball left side right at the shortstop Neville. Only played a first high throw, but he made it in time. Duke Stone trans the bases loaded after a Peltier one-out here hit and a pair of walks. And there's no score through an inning and a half at Veterans Field in Chatham. We'll be right back on the Mariners Radio Network. The Mariners strand the bases loaded in the top of the second. Still no score in Chatham between Harwich and the Chatham A's. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Anglers. It's Cole Johnston, Harlan Hovetter, and Corbin Reynolds here in the second. Johnston digs in. First pitch sky high, dead center field. Kirikoff barely has to move, and he's still camped under it for the ear-high catch. One pitch, one out. A good sign for the left-handed starter for the M's, Trey Williford. Kind of a long first inning after a leadoff walk. Rob Rispoli, the leadoff man, did his job. An 8-pitch walk and then fly out, strikeout, strikeout, but still 21 pitches in that opening frame for Williford. And now he gets an out on just one pitch to kick off the second.
Now you'll definitely take that. Williford trying to go and eat up as many innings as he can here for the Mariners.
Here's Hovetter, left-on-left matchup again, called strike one. These are the challenges in the Cape Cod Baseball League that I think managers are okay putting up with against a left-handed starter like Williford, who's gone deep in a game so far this summer. 0-1 outside, 1-1. Manager Dennis Cook is still okay stacking his lineup with left-handed hitters.
Yep.
Because guys got to get better in left-on-left situations somehow. 1-1. Breaking ball. Down and in, 2-1.
Yeah, that breaking ball has so much movement from the lefty Williford. Almost starts at the letters, nearing the helmet area of the hitter, and then just ducks underneath in the zone. That one just a couple inches away.
2-1 pitch. Hovetter grounds one. Hot shot, third base side. Peltier's on it and fires to first in time. 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, JP Peltier over there is a vacuum, to say the least. He's done really nicely for the Mariners so far at third base, and that one, yeah, sharply hit ground ball, but Peltier didn't really have to move. Kind of a low throw there. Bussey, not your everyday first baseman, had to adjust.
Just 4 pitches now for the first 2 outs of the second frame for Williford. He's back on schedule. Now up to 25. First pitch to the catcher, Reynolds. A little bit away, ball 1. The strike zone staying tight from Tom Augusta behind the plate. Trey Williford's kind of looking in there. He's like, man, pitching in the big leagues tonight? 1-0, that's in the dirt, no doubt about it. 2-0 to the catcher, Corbin Reynolds out of Vanderbilt. Reynolds 2 for 18 so far on the young summer, has a pair of doubles as his lone hits on the Cape. Williford arguably has the most dominant start on all of Cape Cod so far this summer. against Orleans the last time out on the 19th of June. Went 6 innings of 1 hit, no run baseball. The 2-0 is non-competitive, fastball high, now 3-0. Kelvin Paulino on deck, the Florida State transfer. For now, it's Reynolds. Williford trying to find the zone. 3-0 in there. Fastball, 3-1.
Yeah, you feel like every time Williford falls down to the count, like I was saying, he can fire in a strike when he absolutely needs to. Reynolds, like you said, has struggled a bit this season, so you gotta punch the zone.
3-1. Fouled straight back. The count goes full. The last time Williford fell behind a hitter, it was Connor Schouts. 3-0. He battled back and eventually struck him out on the next 3 pitches. Now back-to-back strikes to Reynolds after Williford was in a 3-0 hole. He's ready to go on the rubber. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball outside, ball 4. The second walk of the night from Williford and a 2-out base runner for the A's. Now it's Kelvin Paulino's turn.
And Williford came in with just 3 walks on the season, so a little bit uncharacteristically bad control through these first inning and 2/3.
Here's Paulino. Was at Florida State, now he's in the portal. So far in Chatham, he's 2 for 16 with 3 runs batted in. First pitch, fastball up high, ball 1. The mix tonight for Williford, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. Fastball at 60% of the time, the slider just 8% of the time. But his big strikeout pitch is the one we've seen a lot so far, and it hasn't been a strike early on, the curveball at 26% of the time. 1-0, fastball down at the shins, now 2-0 on the third baseman Paulino. The fastball comes in at 91 to 95 on the radar gun. He can really pump it in there when he reaches back, but consistently around 92. Here's the 2-0. Fly ball, right field side, foul, now 2-1. Curveball, though, you always talk about it, Milo, 12-6 action, comes in at 78.
Yeah.
So the changes of speeds, when you bridge the slider between those two at 82 on the radar gun, can be so deadly. 2-1 count on Paulino. Runner at first, 2 down. Bottom of the second, no score here in Chatham. Williford, 2-1. High and tight, ball 3.
Big shift right now on the righty Paulino. Almost the entirety of the right side of the infield is open. Kurland is playing on the left side of the second base bag, so almost daring Paulino to go with an outside pitch and poke it.
3-1. That's a fastball away. Back-to-back 2-out walks put runners on first and second for the A's. And the 9-hole hitter, Caden Dosa, will get an at-bat here with 2 down in the second.
Yeah, Williford has now tied his season total with walks coming into the day with 3 of them so far tonight, not even through 2 innings. You just got to hope it doesn't come back to haunt you.
Even when Williford got beat up a little bit, giving up a grand slam to YD on opening day, control was never the issue. I mean, some guys out here in a league this talented are going to hit you. And more times than not so far in this early summer action on the Cape, Williford has gotten the better of guys. Stranded 1 in the first, that was a walk, and has now walked back-to-back hitters in a 2-out situation here in the home half of the second. Here's Dosa, first offering. Fouled straight back, that was a fastball down the middle, 0-1. Dosa, the outfielder out of Yale, was second team All-Ivy League this year, 4 for 23 on the Cape. Has 10 strikeouts. Williford trying to make that 11. 0-1 the count for now. Here's the pitch. High fly, dead center field. This one died in midair, and Kirikov makes the catch. A screamer off the bat, got caught up. And once again, Williford stranding runners. A scoreless second. No hits so far for Chatham, but 3 walks. We're headed to the third. No score between the M's and the Anglers on the Mariners Radio Network. The Anglers and Mariners have played two. Still no score right here at Veterans Field in Chatham. And the Mariners have the top of the order due up in the third. Harwich has 2 hits. They've drawn a pair of walks, but have nothing to show for it so far against the talented righty Duke Stone, who's starting for the Anglers. Alongside Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. It'll be Larson, Hotchkiss, and Smolinski to get the third going. Well, it feels like tonight in a pitching duel that we knew it was going to be like this going in. Williford for the Mariners, Duke Stone for the Anglers. Whoever strikes first in this one definitely has early momentum because these guys put up zeros consistently.
Yeah, but it also kind of feels like both the pitchers don't necessarily have their ace stuff tonight. So a lot of runners in scoring position between these two sides so far.
Stone's given up 2 hits, 2 walks. First pitch to Larson, fastball up and in, ball 1. Williford hasn't given up a hit in the 2 innings he's pitched, but 3 walks, stranded 2 in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-0 offering. Larson pops it up over our heads. That's pretty close to us, Milo,
yeah.
Back here.
Oh.
And look out.
Wow.
That almost just hit a kid.
Yeah, he was not looking.
Thank goodness. 1-1 to the Mariner right fielder, Colin Larson. Larson 1 for 1 so far. He's 5 for his last 5. Batting average above 400 on the summer. Swing and a miss at the nasty changeup in the 1-1 count. And now it's 1-2. The changeup's the pitch that Stone really gets lefties with.
Yep.
You don't see it right on right as much, but it comes in at the same velocity as the slider, and he uses it at the exact same rate, as in the probability of him throwing it. 1-2. Larson takes inside, now 2-2. The story of Colin Larson continues to develop into one of the better stories on the Cape. His OPS that comes in at 1.150 is top 5 on Cape Cod. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Slider. Strike 3. Larson goes down for the first time tonight. That's the 4th punch out for Stone. That kicks off the 3rd inning.
Yeah, just fooled on that. And you rarely see Colin Larson go down swinging like he did just then. But, I mean, when Duke Stone is pulling the string at you after pumping in that fastball a few times, that'll fool you.
Here's Hotchkiss. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. Hotchkiss, second game for the M's. First pitch, fly ball foul, right field side. He was late on a fastball, now 0-1. Let's take a look at the Chatham defense for the first time tonight. In left, Bino Waters. In center, Caden Dosa. In right, Cole Johnston. Playing short, it'll be Cooper Neville partnering up on the left side of the infield with the third baseman Kelvin Paulino. At second, it's Rob Rispoli. And at first, Harlan Hovatter. 0-1 to Hotchkiss. The pitch. Swing and a miss, slider away. Now 0-2. Battery with the starter Stone will be the catcher Corbin Reynolds out of Vanderbilt. See what they dial up here, ahead 0-2 on the Harwich left fielder. Fastball high, 1-2.
Yeah, Jackson Hotchkiss, when he gears up for a swing, it's really intense. He gets his legs into it. He hit 20 home runs this past season with Washington. So he has some big-time power.
1-2. Fouled away. Hotchkiss had to go after a fastball that was borderline in the zone. Well, a little bit late. We'll do it again. Hotchkiss, in his first hit of his first game last night on the road at Hyannis, he laced that double to left field. Was just inches away from a home run. 2-strike pitch. Liner over the leaping Paulino at third into left field, a base hit. Hotchkiss puts a runner on with 1 down in the third for the M's. And Ty Smolinski is coming up.
Yeah, that was hit really well. You said that double yesterday out in left field at the wall in Hyannis. That a similar swing, obviously less distance on it, but just pulled the hands in quickly right over the third baseman's head. And a nice piece of hitting from Hotchkiss.
Here's Smolinski. Paulino was floating, trying to catch that ball over there with his jump at third base. Hotchkiss a big lead. First offering, Smolinski checked his swing. He went around. No debate there. Fastball was about 2 feet high. Smolinski tried to stop it, but no can do. 0-1 on the Harwich DH tonight. Stone looks in. 0-1. Swing and a foul tip into the mitt of Reynolds. Smolinski down 0-2. He struck out his first time up. Smolinski hitting .315, has 2 homers, 7 runs batted in, ties the team lead. See if he can battle against Stone. 6'5" righty, working from the stretch, comes home. Swing and a miss, high fastball. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Smolinski down on strikes in back-to-back at-bats. That's rare to see.
Yeah, 5 strikeouts now on the day for Duke Stone, the Chatham starter. Similar to yesterday, Smolinski started off the day 0 for 2, but then quickly turned it on and went 2 for his final 3.
Here's Cade Curlin. Hotchkiss still at first, now 2 down, no score, top 3. First offering, slider away, 1-0. Curlin's first time up, he took a good rip at a first pitch fastball, grounded out to the shortstop Neville. Now he's ahead, 1-0. Crowd continues to just pour into this place. Runner goes from first, pitch in the dirt, no throw, and Hotchkiss has stolen his first base as a Mariner. Welcome to the party, Jackson. That's now number 42 for the M's on the summer. They lead the second-place Bourne Braves by 10 stolen bases. Hotchkiss trying to manufacture a run. It's up to Curlin. M's have Hotchkiss in scoring position at second. 2-0 count on the infielder out of Florida.
Yeah, Hotchkiss has 7 stolen bases at Washington this past season.
A bigger guy, he's 6'4". 2-0 pitch. Curlin popped it up sky high in the infield. The catcher Reynolds lets it drift into fair territory and barely makes the catch. He almost fell over. That ends the top of the third. He has an ear-to-ear smile as he jogs off the field. But a wipeout there could have been an epic run for the M's. And Harwich doesn't get it. 3 consecutive scoreless innings for Duke Stone and Chatham. We'll be back in the home half of the third on the Mariners Radio Network. Top of the order, due up for the A's. Bottom of the third, no score between Harwich and Chatham. Left-hander Williford back out there. First pitch to Rispoli. Fastball in there, called strike 1. Pitchers duel. We knew we were going to get it tonight, but both of these offenses are solid as well. Williford v. Stone, the 2 starters. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, now 1-1. Harwich comes in with 67 runs on the summer. That's number 1 on Cape Cod. Chatham, their 52 runs scored, number 3 on Cape Cod. Both teams lead the league in base on balls, so they have good eyes, but these starters have been attacking. 1-1, called a strike on the inside corner. Williford gets ahead of Rispoli.
Yeah, both the run differentials, too, up over 10 for these 2 sides. So, yeah, the offense has been pretty solid.
Williford, 2-strike pitch. Hanging, breaking ball, nowhere near the zone, now 2-2. Rispoli, the infielder out of UConn, walked his first time up. It was a long battle to get things going. Williford has not surrendered a hit just yet. Bottom of the third, leadoff man up. But he's walked 3 batters. 2-2. Fly ball, right center field. Larson scurries over, now drifts back and makes the catch, 1 down. Talked a lot about the pitching matchup. 2 guys who come into tonight with 187 combined strikeouts, the two starters, between their collegiate years in 2026. Bino Waters digs in for a left-on-left matchup. And sure, there's no runs, but for the way we've seen Stone in school and here last year playing for Chatham, and Williford early on this summer, first pitch fastball called strike one. We called it a little bit sloppy. 5 combined walks between the two guys. Stone's given up 3 hits. Mariners still nothing to show for it. Fastball misses high, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Tonight's going to be a battle the whole way because when you have these good of arms, some of the best bullpen guys are set up ready to come in to try and secure a win. 1-1 is down and outside. And now Waters gets ahead of Williford, 2-1.
I mean, listen, you're not always going to have your stuff. Right now, Williford takes a deep breath behind the mound, about 5 steps past the rubber, trying to just reset, reestablish the zone here.
Comes home with the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Waters was way late on that fastball, and the count's even at 2-2. Connor Schaus on deck. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Waters thought about going for the slider, but stayed away, and the count goes full. Waters flew out. It was a high fly ball. It took the center fielder Kirikoff all the way back to the track in the first inning. And Williford continues to kind of battle something out there. Now he calls time, gets a new ball from the home plate umpire, Tom Augusta, and walks around the mound a couple times, staring at his mitt before this 3-2 pitch.
A little bit unsettled tonight.
Payoff pitch. Got him on the outside corner. All he needed was to catch his breath and completely buckle Waters. 2 down in the third.
Third strikeout of the evening for Trey Williford. All he needed was that extra time and just a zipping fastball that you really just can't do anything about. If it's perfectly placed on the outside corner, which it was, Williford is going to pick up a backwards K.
We're in the bottom of the third. We're yet to see a 1-2-3 inning. Now 2 out, nobody on. Connor Schaus, the hitter. First pitch called a strike. 0-1. Schaus struck out his first time up in the opening frame. Now he's behind. Pardon me, pitch inside, 1-1. The strike zone's tight tonight. Keep talking about it. It's going to be fun to see how these bullpens battle because these starters are dominant pitchers. 1-1. That's in the dirt. Schaus steps back, gets away from the pitch, and he's ahead 2 balls and a strike.
And Williford, after that pitch, bent down on the mound and picked up some dirt, brushed it against his jersey, and then took another couple of steps behind home plate. He seems a little fidgety tonight, just all around.
And tonight's a different atmosphere than other Cape League games. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball, third base side foul. And what I mean by that, count goes to 2-2 on Schaus, is when we talked about a couple hundred people here to start, and now we're looking around, we asked each other in the break, there could be a couple thousand people here tonight.
Oh, totally. I mean, everywhere you look.
Every corner, every nook, every cranny of this ballpark. 2-2 pitch. Skied foul down the right field line. I mean, there are at least 200 to 300, maybe 400 people in the outfield sitting on the hill here in right center in Chatham.
Like the Little League World Series out there.
2-2 pitch. Schaus stays away. Pitch in the dirt. And we go full. 2 out. Nobody on. 3-2 to the 3-hole hitter Connor Schaus out of Texas Tech. He's been that best hitter for the A's so far this summer, hitting .378. But then behind home plate, Milo, first base side, so many more people. 3-2 ground ball, third base side. That's just foul. Peltier had a read on it, and we'll do it again.
I'll tell you, if Williford can get Schaus right now, this should probably be the hardest worked 1-2-3 inning that I've seen this summer because, I mean, every single at bat seems to be a tough one from Williford's perspective.
Williford steps off again. Now he's back on to the rubber. He kicks and fires. Payoff. Jam shot. Infield fly. Williford says it's his. He calls everyone off, and he catches it to record his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. No score between the A's and the Mariners through 3. We'll be back for the 4th on the Mariners Radio Network.
you're a Massachusetts resident and don't have a bachelor's, you could be attending 4Cs for free, all while preparing for careers that actually move you forward. Aviation maintenance, nursing, dental, funeral service, we've got it all. capecod.edu/free.
Heading to Nantucket this summer? Skip the traffic and take to the skies with Cape Air. With convenient flights from Norwood to Nantucket, you can start your vacation sooner without the hassle of traffic. That way you spend more time relaxing and less time getting there. Experience the Cape Air difference and book your next flight today at capeair.com. Let Cape Air be your wings in the Northeast.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Life can be full of surprises, but Eastern Propane and Oil is always just a call away. With a local team member available 24/7, we're always ready to support you when you need it. With an Eastern Propane and Oil technician on the way, your family's comfort is our priority. Our local team, over 500 strong, ensures your home is comfortable and warm. Eastern Propane and Oil, a local team with 24/7 service and delivery, ensuring comfort when you need it most.
The start of the fourth here at historic Veterans Field is brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil. They're proud to recognize our hometown heroes throughout the Cape. If you are active duty military, a veteran, police, fire, or EMT personnel, you are eligible for a discount. Still no score between Harwich and Chatham here as we go to the top of the fourth. And it's still Duke Stone on the hill for the A's. He deals to J.P. Peltier, the number 5 hitter in the Mariner lineup. Third baseman digs into the righty box. Stone set from the belt, fires home. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1 on JP. He reached on an infield single back in the second. Comes into the evening hitting .237 with a homer and 7 RBIs this season. 0-1. Swung on, hit high in the air right field. Johnson charges in, now he stops, and he makes the one-handed grab for the first out here at the top of the fourth.
Now batting for Harwich, the third baseman, number 19, Charlie Bussey.
Just a brilliant evening here, a Friday night in Chatham. My partner Luke at the top called Chatham the capital of the Cape. I would have to agree with him. My first time here in Chatham, and it's just stunning. Chatham plays at Veterans Field, one of the most historic fields here on the Cape. Probably 1,000 people here tonight. Pitch to Bussey. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-1 on the Mariner first baseman. Bussey walked back in the second for his league-leading 9th time. Taps his bat on home plate a few times. Here's the 0-1. Outside with the fastball, and it's 1-1. Feels like everywhere you look here, down the right and left field lines, there's people out in the outfield. Pitch home. That's downstairs in the dirt with the breaking ball, and the count is 2-1.
Such a diverse crowd here too, Milo. You got young kids, you have kids our age. Obviously the older folks, a lot of them come here for their full summer on the Cape, so you always get them.
Here's the 2-1. Downstairs, and the count's 3-1.
I mean, people from everywhere. There's Chathamese fans here wearing the gear. There's plenty of people behind us buying the gear at their merch tent. But then also you can tell people that are like, what is this? They just kind of walked into the ballpark and they're trying to figure it out.
3-run chop foul off of Bussey's leg, and the count runs full on the Mariner first baseman. Now, we are talking to a few fans, and not only people that live here in Chatham or just visiting Chatham, but if you're anywhere on the Cape, you know about Veterans Field. It's in the tourist guides. Come here on a Friday night. Watch some Cape Cod baseball. Payoff pitch. Swinging a chopper slowly back to the pitcher, Stone. He fields and underhand tosses to first in time. Now 2 gone in the top of the fourth. Still no score between the A's and the M's.
And a good sign for all the fans. This one's going by quick. It's been a pitching duel. We knew we were going to get that. The Mariners have 3 hits. Nothing to show for it, but Chatham is being no hit right now through 3. Quickly 2 outs in the top of the fourth, Milo. But we're set up for an exciting middle to late inning game that's going to decide the rest of this one.
Yeah, both pitchers have dealt well so far. Here's the pitch to James. That's high and wide with the heat. And the count is 1-0 on the Mississippi State catcher. And he's hitting against his teammate at Mississippi State, Duke Stone. Pitch. There's a chopper slowly down the third baseline. Paulino charges gloves, fires to first, not in time. Sean James beats out an infield single. That's his second knock in a Mariner uniform. And now there's a 2-out runner aboard for Harwich here in the top of the fourth.
Good dig from James. If you haven't seen Sean James play it, he's not your typical catcher. He's no Cal Rowley, former Harwich Mariners, who they call Big Dumper, because he's not a squatty guy. He's a little bit shorter, but he's thin, he's strong. Sure, he has the power in the legs that you see a lot of the catchers have, but he gets up the line really quick.
Pitch to Kirchhoff is a foul right back, and the count is 0-1. And James, almost the stature of more of a contact guy in the box, where we're so used to seeing catchers have these big, tall frames. Kirchhoff walked back in the second. Here's the pitch. That's just a bit outside. Fastball right there at 91 miles an hour from Duke Stone. The count's 1-1 on Kirchhoff. James off of first, 2 gone, top of the fourth. Still 0-0. Here's the offering. Swinging a foul right back, and the count's 1-2. Kirchhoff came into the evening hitting .208, a pair of RBIs. He now has 5 walks on the season. Kent State product, twirls his bat a few times. Stone comes set on the hill at the belt. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball cut on and missed. Strike 3. That's the 6th strikeout of the evening for Duke Stone. And the Mariners go down quietly in the fourth. 1 hit, 1 man left on base, and no runs. We head to the bottom of the fourth here on Cape League TV.
Try it, then buy it. Rent a new cat for up to 90 days. Then apply 100% of the rental cost to the purchase and save. The Milton Cat Rent to Purchase offer. Try it, then buy it. Go to miltoncat.com/RPO.
Reader's Hardwood Supply is a candy store for wood, whether you're a professional or an amateur. Reader's Hardwood Supply carries over 70 species of both domestic and imported lumber from around the world, displayed in over 300 self-serve bins for your selection. So for your next project, make it your masterpiece with stock from Reader's Hardwood Supply. The woods of the world are here at Reader's Hardwood Supply.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Back here at Veterans Field on a beautiful Friday night in Chatham, Massachusetts, alongside Luke Brenneman, I'm Milo Hoffman. Still no score between the A's and the Mariners here as we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's been an old school pitcher's duel thus far. It's still Trey Williford on the hill for the Mariners. He has yet to give up a hit to the Anglers, but has walked 3 batters. So it's been a bit of a struggle so far in terms of the command for Trey Williford. He came into the day with just 3 walks on the season, so now he's reached that total. Trying to hone down on the zone here to begin the bottom of the fourth. Lights are on here at Veterans Park. 7 o'clock start time tonight, the latest in all of the Cape, and normally Chatham is the latest start, as they are a field with lights. Some of the fields here on the Cape do not have lights, so therefore they start at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. So many people in the stands here at Veterans Field. If I had to make a guess, we've yet to pick up an actual number. We probably will have that later in the game. I'd say it's pushing 1,000. And why would you not want to be here on a gorgeous Friday night for some Cape Cod baseball? Still no score between the Mariners and the A's here in the bottom of the fourth. It's Cooper Neville leading off the frame for the A's. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for Chatham. Williford, the lefty for the Mariners, stands tall on the mound. Left-on-left matchup here to begin the frame. Pitch home. Fastball tapped down the third baseline, foul. And the count's quickly 0-1. Neville 0 for 1 today. He struck out back in the first. One of 3 Williford strikeouts this evening. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. A nice breaking ball there from Williford. Trey came into the evening with 13 strikeouts this season. Now he's up to a total of 16. Glove at his eyes, and he fires home. Fastball cut on and missed. 4 Ks on the evening for Williford, and there's 1 gone in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, he's dealing now. That's now 5 in a row put down, 2 of those 5 on the punch out. The 1-2-3 third, you called it kind of tough-nosed 1-2-3 inning because he had to throw a lot of pitches, but that's how Chatham's been trending. This is a team that's won 4 of 6 games, Milo, and it's going to be tough to put these guys down easy.
Pitch to Hoveder is a swing and a miss on a curveball.
I mean, for reference, if you start the season 0-4 and now you're in the top 3 in runs scored in the league, you're doing something right your last 6 games.
0-1. There's a strike on the outside corner with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-2. Yeah, that's right. Chatham got off to an 0-4 start, then ripped off 4 straight wins. Now a record of 4-5. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, cold, strike 3. Oh, that's gorgeous from Trey Williford. Now 5 strikeouts tonight. He's found his groove, and there's 2 gone in the bottom of the fourth.
So he was once walking around the mound trying to catch his breath, trying to find command. And now he's walking around with a little bit of a strut, a lot of swagger. That was a 3-pitch strikeout, now back-to-back Ks to start the 4th inning. He's mowing them down here in Chatham.
Here's Harlan Hoveder, the first baseman. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul right back, and it's 0-1. That last hitter, Cole Johnson, the right fielder. Williford stands tall on the mound with his high socks. Infield play to the pull side for the lefty Hoveder. He's hitting .211 this season. Grounded out to third, back in the second. Pitch. Way outside with the slider, and it's 1-1. Still no hits allowed from Trey Williford on the hill for the Mariners. He does have 3 walks. Now 5 strikeouts. 1-1 the count on Hoveder. There's the pitch home. Breaking ball spins in for strike 2. I mean, that curveball is just pure filth at 79 miles an hour from Trey Williford. Curious to see if he goes back to it right now. Quickly, here's the 1-2. There it is, and there's a swing and a miss. The curveball was magical in that inning. Trey Williford strikes out the side. He has 6 punch-outs tonight. And we're still tied up at 0-0 as we head to the top of the 5th at Veterans Field. We'll be right back on Cape League TV. We head to the 5th here at Veterans Park on a beautiful Friday evening alongside Luke Brenneman, Milo Hoffman. Still 0-0 the score between the Mariners and the Chatham A's. So glad you're joining us. And it's the top of the 5th, which means it's Mariners trivia time. And tonight the question is the highest Harwich Mariner player drafted in Major League Baseball. So last night, if you were tuned in, the question was highest Mariner pitcher to be drafted into the big leagues. The answer was Kevin Gausman. So now a little bit more general, highest player to be drafted into the bigs. Nick Castellon to lead off. He looks at a pitch outside the fastball, and the count is 1-0 on the Mariners shortstop. He grounded out to short back in the second. Still Duke Stone on the hill. He fires. That's downstairs. Count is 2-0 on Castellon, who plays his college ball at Cal Poly. This past season, hit .328 over there. 2-0. Outside. And the count is 3-0 on the Mariners shortstop. Wears the number 12 in the baby blue uniforms. Pitch. Inside, so 4 straight out of the zone from Duke Stone. And now the Mariners have a leadoff walk here to begin the 5th. That's the 3rd walk of the evening for Harwich tonight. And now it's Colin Larson back to the top of the Harwich lineup. Castellon takes his lead over there at first base. The lefty Larson in the box. There's the pitch. Fastball nubbed down the third baseline, foul, and Larson slaps his bat after making contact with that pitch. Almost not happy that he made contact because it was probably ball number 1.
Larson's a guy it's a pleasure to watch him right now because you get that excitement when he comes up to the plate. He's been so hot that you just know he could snap one out of here.
There's the 0-1 offering from Stone. That's left upstairs at the Heat, so the count is 1-1. Yeah, Larson singled back in the first. He struck out in the third, but came into the evening hitting .406, a pair of home runs, 7 RBIs. I mean, he's just been red hot. 1-1, here it is. That's upstairs, and off speed at 85 miles an hour, and the count's 2-1. Third baseman Kelvin Polino playing on the infield grass, about 10 steps inside the third base bag. There's the pitch. Upstairs, ball number 3, so it's 3-1 now on the Mariner leadoff man.
Not going to go as far as saying Larson's as small as Jose Altuve, but he's kind of got that look in the batter's box where it's really hard to throw him a strike, but he's so square he can turn on it.
Check back to Castellon over there at first is not in time. Castellon this past season at Cal Poly stole 4 bags. Not as much as you would think for a speedy infielder. 3-1, here it is. Fastball misses inside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks for the M's here in the top of the 5th. That's Larson's 5th base on balls this season. And the Mariners have something brewing here in the 5th.
Yeah, this has got to be the time when maybe the hook is coming for a guy like Duke Stone. Definitely on an innings limit this summer. It could just be 1 to 3 starts, kind of like we've seen from Williford, who pitched a lot in the school year. But tonight, he's already given up the hits, no hard hits, no extra base hits, but the top of the order up, back-to-back walks, nobody out. Time to do some damage for Harwich.
There's Jackson Hotchkiss, the left fielder. Pitch home. Outside with the fastball. So it's 1-0, and now the entire infield is going to collapse on the mound and talk to their pitcher, Duke Stone, who's clearly had a hard time commanding the strike zone tonight, and especially in this inning. And it looks like a trainer is going to come out onto the mound.
I think they're going to the bullpen as well.
Duke Stone being accompanied on the mound by a trainer and the entire infield. Hoping everything's okay with the starting pitcher, who pitches at Mississippi State. Now the meeting is broken up by home plate umpire Tom Augusta, and it looks like everything's okay with Stone, and he'll stay on the mound.
That's interesting. I think that trainer may have just been because Jay Powell motioned the hand like he was going to the bullpen, but he actually called the trainer onto the field.
Yeah, it was a weird case. You thought that maybe Stone was dealing with something, but now he's ready to go once again. Here's the 1-0 to Jackson Hotchkiss. Fastball fouled back, and the count is 1-1. Hotchkiss struck out in the first, then he singled in the third, a hard line drive down the left field line. That was his second knock in a Mariner uniform. Yesterday against Hyannis, he doubled deep off the left field wall. 1-1, here it is. Just a bit outside. That a fastball again, and the count's 2-1. 0-0 Mariners and Chatham. We're in the top of the fifth. The M's have first and second occupied, nobody out. 2-1 comes home. Way upstairs, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, I'm just interested now, Milo, is the control because of an injury. If he's even feeling anything, why is he still out there in a summer baseball league game? But now you're a pitch away from walking the bases loaded with nobody out.
Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Jackson Hotchkiss let loose on that attempt. And the count is now full on the Harwich left fielder. Castellón off of second. Larson off of first. There's been little to no offense in tonight's ball game for either side. Still 0-0. Pitch. Swinging a foul down the right field line, out of play, and they'll do it again.
So on the 3-1, Hotchkiss was way early on a breaking pitch. That time on the 3-2, Stone pairs it with a fastball. Hotchkiss was late, but thankfully got a piece. This is a really good battle between two top-of-the-table players in the Cape right now.
Stone comes set at the belt, and he fires home. Swinging a hard hit ball deep to right field. Johnson back on the track. That ball's gone. On to the hill out there in right field. A 3-run homer for Jackson Hotchkiss, his first in a Mariner uniform, and the M's are on top 3-0 here in the fifth.
Hotchkiss, welcome to the team. The rich get richer. The 7 wins in the first 10-game Mariners land this power-hitting assassin out of the University of Washington. A double, a single earlier tonight, and then the long ball the opposite direction, Milo. You can really see the power that he has to just shove a pitch like that the other way to right field. And that's it for Stone. Chatham's going to the bullpen. Still nobody out in the fifth.
Yep, Chatham going to make a call to the bullpen after the Jackson Hotchkiss 3-run home run. And we'll take a step aside. Finally, the big blast for the M's, and boy, they needed that. We'll be right back here on Cape League TV. Back here at Veterans Field, we're still in the top of the fifth after Jackson Hotchkiss just punched a 3-run home run out to deep right field. And there's a new pitcher on the hill for Chatham. It's Justice DeYoung, who pitches at Auburn. And it's his third appearance on the hill for the A's. One in a third so far this season with 4 strikeouts, no walks, and no runs allowed. And he deals to Ty Smolinski, the Mariners' DH tonight, and number 3 hitter in the lineup. Oh, it's good to see Jackson Hotchkiss, hit his first home run with the Mariners, hit 20 of them this past season at Washington. Pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1 on Ty.
Yeah, I think Chatham maybe just let Stone go a little bit too long. Back-to-back walks.
Pitch from DeYoung. There's a high fly ball. That'll twist foul down the third baseline. And it's 0-2 on Smolinski.
Stone, a guy who pitched over 79 innings at school, walked less than 30 hitters. So he has control. We knew the strikeouts were going to be there tonight. He had 6 punch-outs, but back-to-back walks to start at the 5th. Started with the 9-hole hitter Castellón making his Cape League debut. Something bound was going to happen with a lineup like this.
0-2 downstairs, and the count's 1-2. Yeah, and there was that weird meeting with the trainer on the hill. You weren't really sure what was happening there. The entire infield came in, but everything seemed to be okay. And then a couple pitches later, the score is now 3-0 Mariners. There's the 1-2 from DeYoung to Smolinski. Breaking ball called, strike 3 on the outside corner. And there's finally one out here in the top of the 5th.
It's the 3rd time Smolinski's gone down on strikes tonight.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for Ty Smolinski. Came into the evening hitting .351, which was best on the Mariners. Now it's Cade Curlin, the Harwich second baseman, who's 0 for 2 himself today. There's the pitch home. That's downstairs. And the count is 1-0 on Curlin, who played his last 3 years at Florida, now transferring to LSU for this next season. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Big hack from the second baseman. And the count is 1-1. Curlin 4 of 14 in a Harwich uniform so far this season. A couple of doubles. Here's the offering. Fastball cut on and missed. And the count is 1-2. 3-0 Mariners on top. Here in the top of the 5th inning, 1 out. Jackson Hotchkiss with a 3-run home run. Here's the pitch. Downstairs in the dirt. That an 81-mile-an-hour off speed. And the count is now 2-2 on Curlin. Lights are fully on here at Veterans Field. Great crowd on hand. Just a buzz. You can feel it in the air. 2-2. Just missed outside. Barely with the fastball, and the count runs full.
Tight strike zone all night.
Mariners have worked 4 walks tonight at the plate. Payoff pitch on its way from DeYoung. Here it is. Swinging a chopper down the third baseline. Paulino charges, gloves, fires off balance, not in time. It pulled the first baseman Haviter off the bag, but it looked like Curlin was going to beat that one out anyways. So there's a runner aboard now for Harwich here with 1 gone in the top of the 5th, and the M's lead 3-0.
Yeah, see if you can tack on a few more from the reliever DeYoung out of the bullpen. Just because you score 3 in the 5th, it's pretty much the top of the 5th with the new reliever DeYoung coming in because there was nobody out. So now you get the 1-out base runner. It's still the heart of the order here with Peltier and Bussey next. Why not blow this thing open behind Williford, who's given you now 4 no-hit innings to start the game?
Pitch to Peltier. There's a swing and a miss. And the count is 0-1 on Peltier. And this past season at Auburn, DeYoung made just 6 appearances, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, and just 1 walk. So limited action as a freshman. Here's the pitch. That's inside. The count is now 1-1 on J.P. Peltier. He's 1 for 2 today. He singled back in the second. Cade Curlin leads off of first base. He has 1 stolen bag with the Mariners this season. Pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Peltier played this past season at Wright State. Now he's transferring to Kentucky. Has swung the bat well with the Mariners so far. 237, a homer, and 7 RBIs. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a high fly ball, shallow left field. Waters is there, comes in a few steps, and he makes the grab. He called off the shortstop, Novell, and there's 2 gone. That was a sky-high pop-up right here in the Chatham sky. So now Sean O'Leary digs into the box for the Mariners. He's pinch hitting for Charlie Bussey, who started the game for the M's at first base. Bussey was 0 for 1 with a walk back in the second. Pitch home. Down in the dirt, gets way past Reynolds, the catcher, and to the backstop. Curlin takes second easily. Curious to see the decision to put in O'Leary at first base. Obviously, you hope everything's okay with Charlie Bussey. This could be sort of like a half-and-half situation.
Yeah, I think you're right. Also, the Mariners now have a lead, and O'Leary is a first baseman. We've seen him at third. He can play first. He's more comfortable over there than the left fielder, Bussey. So maybe with a lead, you prioritize defense rather than Bussey's bat to start the game.
I think that makes a whole lot of sense. Pitch home. Swinging a foul right back. And the count is now 1-1 on Sean O'Leary.
But on the same note, you could have just put O'Leary in on defense after Bussey hit here. So there's something in the matchup with DeYoung that Steve Engler likes. And I think it's just the problems that the Mariners have right now is they have a lot of really good players, and you can only have 9 in your starting lineup every night.
DeYoung, the righty, deals to the lefty O'Leary. That's fouled down the left field line. And it's 1-2 on the now Mariner first baseman.
I mean, truly, if you're on this team and you're not getting a couple RBI each night or putting one over the fence like Larson and Smolinski, you're grinding to be in the lineup every night.
I mean, you got to keep up with the entire lineup. The Mariners have been hitting the ball very, very well. Pitch. That's upstairs. So the count is now 2-2. The M's came in with a .250-14 batting average. That's the best in the league. 6 home runs. That's third best in the league. Now they have 7. .374 on base percentage is the top mark. 2-2. Swinging a hard hit ground ball right side, playable for Rispoli, the second baseman. He flicks over to first in time, and that does it here in the top of the 5th inning. But the Mariners do some big time damage. 2 hits, 3 runs, a 3-run home run off of Jackson Hotchkiss's bat, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th here on Cape League TV. We go to the bottom of the 5th here at Veterans Park. 3-0 the score between the Mariners and Chatham. Harwich on top. Still Williford on the hill for the M's. He deals to the catcher Reynolds. First pitch is outside with the fastball, and it's 1-0. Reynolds walked back in the second. Williford in his 5th inning of work. Pitch home. Outside, and the count is 2-0 on the catcher who plays his collegiate ball at Vanderbilt. Came into the evening hitting 111 this season in the Cape. No homers, no RBIs. 6 walks, though. 2-0. That's a strike at the knees with the Heat. And the count is 2-1. Trey Williford has 6 strikeouts so far tonight. Last inning in the 4th, he struck out the side. But he does have 3 walks. Swinging a high pop-up, stays in the infield right side. First baseman O'Leary comes in, yells out everyone, and the ball pops out of his glove. So the catcher, Corbin Reynolds, is safe at first base. That ball hit the sky here in Chatham, came steaming down, and O'Leary lost control, and the ball scurried out of his glove. So there's a leadoff man aboard now for Chatham here in the bottom of the 5th.
Plays like that, Milo, are unacceptable. But when you got a pitcher going the way Williford's going, you really don't want to throw him off this groove.
Pitch to Paulino is a ground ball left side of the infield shortstop. Castellone is there, flips to second, not in time. So just like that, Chatham has the offense brewing here in the bottom of the 5th. And that's the first hit of the game for Chatham, so there goes the no-hitter, and the crowd erupts here at Veterans Park. So first and second now occupied by the A's with nobody out. They trail 3-0 to the Mariners.
Sure, it's an infield hit. It's also a play that Castellone should probably make. And right on cue, Hunter Dilworth, the Mariners pitching coach, is going to come out and talk to his lefty starter because, sure, the offense woke up. They put up 3 runs in the top half of this inning. But it's unacceptable to ever drop an infield pop-up and then combine that with a play that maybe a Cape League shortstop is going to make more times than not. And also, forget the sake of Williford's start and his stats and the hit that he surrendered. You're looking at 2 on, nobody out in a 3-run game in the middle of the inning. Chatham's trying to come back in this game, and this is the perfect recipe.
And Chatham this season, the offense is hitting .236 as a team. That's dead middle of the Cape. And an interesting note in those last couple of plays, Sean O'Leary, who made the first error, this is his first inning on defense for the Mariners tonight. He came in for Charlie Bussey, and then Castellone, the shortstop, that was his first attempt on defense as a Mariner, period. This is his first start, and that's the first time the ball dribbled his way. So now it's the number 9 hitter, Caden Dosa, for Chatham. The center fielder who plays his college ball at Yale. First and second occupied. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt, gets it down, third base side, foul. Williford bounced off the mound and tracked that down all the way into foul territory. But the count is now 0-1 on Dosa. He himself is 0 for 1 today. Lined out sharply to center field back in the second inning.
This is a guy Williford's got to go after. Hitting 9th, he struck out 10 times, just 4 for his first 24 on Cape Cod.
The lefty Williford deals to the righty. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt, pulls back, and the curveball is outside. So the count is 1-1 now on Dosa. The righty in the box wears the blue number 22. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt again, and he gets plunked. He gets plunked in the left shin, and just like that, the bases are loaded for Chatham here with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. 3-0 to score, Mariners on top of the A's. But all of a sudden, Trey Williford, the M starter, has worked himself into a very, very dangerous jam.
Yeah, we'll see if he can work out of it. I would not count him out. But with the top of the order coming up, it's going to be even tougher because these are the best 3 on the Chatham offense. It would suffocate a lot of juice out of this place, maybe even surrender a run. Double play ball, a strikeout. We know Williford's good for a lot of those.
Pitch home. Outside with the fastball to Rob Rispoli. And the count is 1-0 on the Chatham second baseman. He reached in the first via a walk, then flew out to right field in the 3rd inning. hitting just 174 this season. Another player who plays at Yale. He swings and chops one left side. Castellone dives, stops, and he doesn't have a throw. It popped out of his glove. Reynolds comes home to score. Everyone else moves up 90 feet, and the score is now 3-1 Harwich here in the bottom of the 5th.
Here comes Chatham. That was a hit the whole way. A really nice play from Castellone. I think he saved a run by keeping that ball from squirting into the outfield, because it would have gone just by him and kind of in no man's land out there in left field. But Chatham continues to pass the baton, and believe it or not, that was the first true hit, I think, personally, of the inning.
Pitch home to Waters. He swings and hits a ground ball right side. O'Leary gobbles, fires home in time. They beat the Paulina, who's digging to home plate. And it's a big out here, out number 1 in the bottom of the 5th. The corners were in, and that played right into the shift. Still 3-1 Mariners, now 1 gone. Bases are loaded once again for the A's.
This is a really, really cool task for Williford. I mean, he's just coming after a freshman season at UNC Wilmington. He was part of the freshman All-American team. And now on the Cape Cod, he's off to a nice start. Can he get out of this?
Pitch home to Schaus is down in the dirt. And the count's 1-0 on the Chatham DH.
I'd consider it a win if the M's just get out of this still with the lead.
Totally. Middle of the infield is played at double play depth. O'Leary, the first baseman, is on the infield grass. Third baseman Peltier is back. Here's the pitch home. Outside with the heat, and it's 2-0. Schaus is 0 for 2 today, a strikeout in the first, and he flew out to the pitcher, Trey Williford, in the 3rd inning. 2-0. Fastball inside, and the count is 3-0 on Schaus. No place to put him. Waters off of first, Rispoli off of second, and Dosa off of third. Here's the 3-0. Fastball misses outside, ball 4, and Trey Williford has just walked in a run. Dosa touches home. Everyone else moves up a bag, and now it's 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th, still in favor of the Mariners, and that'll prompt Harwich manager Steve Englert to walk out of the bullpen. And it looks like that'll just about do it here for Trey Williford.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm not going to lie, Milo. Whether it's the best league in the country or not, and Steve Englert's a guy who's been here for 28 seasons, and on his way out to the mound, he just turned around and mouthed off the home plate umpire, Tom Augusta. This strike zone has been a branch of ridiculous tonight. I mean, the 3-0 pitch was right there, and if that's not there, I don't really know what else could be. You can't put yourself in a 3-0 hole, though, and now Williford and the bases loaded full of runners. He's on the hook here. See if the Mariners' new arm can get out of this jam.
Yep, still bases loaded for Chatham. 3-2 Harwich on top. We'll take a quick step aside and be right back to tell you who the new pitcher is here at Veterans Field and also here on Cape League TV. Still here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the score is now 3-2 Harwich over Chatham, and the bases remain loaded for the A's. And now a pitching change for the M's. Making his Mariner debut is Jackson Peavy, who pitches at Georgia this past season. In 2026, he made 3 appearances with the Bulldogs, 2 1/3 inning pitched, no runs allowed, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. The lefty stands at 6'3", 180 pounds on the hill, and he comes into a very sticky situation in his first appearance with the Hems.
Yeah, he's got to try and work his way out of this, and no better way to get acclimated to the team than try and pick up after Williford had yet another marvelous start. But like opening day, Milo getting into some trouble here with the bases loaded. 2 already in, just 1 out. They're still loaded. And most importantly, the Mariners only up by a slim 1-run advantage.
So Peavy, the lefty, deals to the lefty in the box, Cooper Neville. Neville so far today 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts. Bases loaded, 1 gone. Mariners on top 3-2. Middle of the infield at double play depth. In fact, all infielders are back. Here's the pitch home. Swinging a line drive, right field, sinking, base hit. Rispoli comes in to score. Right behind him is Waters. Throw from right field, not in time, and Chatham has the lead. It's 4-3 in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 2-ribby single for Cooper Neville. It's his 14th RBI on the season that leads the Cape. Boy, oh boy, this game has just fallen out of the grasp of the Mariners. Schaus advances to 3rd on the play. Now the lefty Johnson is up. Here's the pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner with the fastball. It's 0-1 on Johnson, the right fielder, who's 0 for 2 on the day. He's the 8th hitter to come to the plate here in this frame for the A's. Pitch from Peavy. Outside with the fastball. It's 1-1. Pitcher comes set at the letters, looks home, checks at first, fires. Slider outside. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike on Cole Johnson, who is now 0 for 5 to begin his season with Chatham. His half blue, half beige bat in the box. Peavy fires home. Fastball way outside, 3-1. This is a Georgia on Georgia at bat. Jackson Peavy pitches with the Bulldogs. Cole Johnson plays with the Bulldogs. Pitch home. Swinging a chopper right side of the infield. Squeaks into right field for a base hit. Schaus comes in to score. It's a ribby single for Cole Johnson. And the A's hold a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
So 3 of the runners that Williford left on base come in to score.
Wow. And it seemed like Trey Williford really came into a groove after that 4th inning. He struck out the side. But now 5 runs come in to score. And the A's are looking for more in Harlan Hoveter. Pitch home. Breaking ball is outside, and it's 1-0. Runners off 1st and 2nd for Chatham. They lead 5-3. Here's Peavy's offering. Fastball fouled right back, hits the screen, and it's 1-1. This the 9th hitter to hit for Chatham, so they've hit through. Another left-on-left matchup. Veterans Park ready to erupt once again. Here's the 1-1 offering. Fastball misses upstairs. It's 2-1.
Yeah, tough start here for Peavy in his Mariner debut. Still looking for that first out since coming out of the bullpen. He's gone double single to start.
Pitcher steps back on the rubber trying to recontrol himself. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball way outside, a snow cone grab from the catcher Sean James. Now he throws back, and the ball trickles away from Peavy. Just a bit of sloppy play here for the Mariners in this inning.
Yeah, it's been ugly. You give up 5 in an inning, though, Milo, but you start looking at the scoreboard. It's a 2-run game in the middle innings. You just have to keep it at this right now. Get an out.
Double play still intact. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. And so the bases are once again loaded here for Chatham. In the bottom of the 5th, they hold a 5-3 lead over the Mariners. And the hitter who started out the inning reaching on an error is Corbin Reynolds. This whole thing started on that sky-high pop-up that the first baseman Sean O'Leary could not glove.
It's exactly how the Grand Slam unfolded on opening day YD. Poor defense from the Mariners spoils Williford's start. Still no excuse for giving up a single and hitting a batter, but shouldn't have started that way.
Here's the pitch to Reynolds, way outside. Peavy has lost command of the strike zone. It's 1-0 now on Reynolds. He's reached both times tonight, a walk in the 2nd, and then I said that error in the 5th. So yet to pick up a hit, just hitting 111 on the season. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside, and the count's 2-0. I mean, that pitch looks really close from our vantage point, but just barely missed.
Saying it all night. Steve Engler's fed up with it. He's given him an earful in the dugout.
Here's Peavy's delivery. Inside. That one, no question about it. The count is 3-0 on Corbin Reynolds. No place to put the catcher. Bases juiced. Chatham up 5-3. Peavy pitches. There's a strike on the inside corner, and the count's 3-1.
Really got to battle back here and force him to beat you with a base hit at this point. Already have had one walked in from Williford in this inning. You just cannot do it again.
Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner once again, upper half of the zone, and the count is now full on Reynolds. Does not have an RBI this season. This is a big chance to pick up his first, if not a couple. Big hole right side of the infield. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Shortstop Castellon is there. Shovels the second one. Relay to first in time. 6-4-3 double play. And the Mariners avoid any more damage. But Chatham puts up 5 runs. They take the lead on 4 hits. And 3 men left on base. We'll be right back for the 6th right here on Cape League TV. Back here at Veterans Field, and the score now reads 5-3 in favor of Chatham, after the A's just put up 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 for the Mariners here in the top half of the 6th, and the start of the 6th is brought to you by Netting Pros. Stadionic is the official netting and facility solutions partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. When it comes to netting and building iconic sports facilities, it's Netting Pros. Stadionic, making sports facilities iconic. Still Justice DeYoung, the Auburn product, on the hill for Chatham. He deals to Sean James, the catcher. Pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. And the count is 0-1 on James. He's 1 for 2 today. Strikeout in the second, and he singled back in the fourth. 2 for 10 to begin his Mariner career. 0-1. Fastball fouled right back, and it's 0-2.
Double play. You want that to be something that we look back on tonight, Milo.
Yep. Mariners turned a 6-4-3 double play to get out of a bases-loaded jam last inning. Pitch is tapped slowly on the ground, shortstop side. Novell is there, gloves, and fires to first in time. That's a nice play from the Chatham A's shortstop. And there's one gone in the top of the sixth. Yeah, but you're right, Luke. That 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Chatham felt all the momentum. They could have tacked on a few more, but now it's just a 2-run A's lead. Plenty of time to go for this Harwich offense that has been one of the best in the Cape all summer long.
Yeah, DeYoung's been solid out of the bullpen, though. He did what the Mariners couldn't do. He stopped a rally when he came in.
Pitch to Kirikov is a strike on the outside corner. And the count is 0-1 on the Mariners' center fielder. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Walked in the second, struck out in the fourth. Pitch home. Fastball misses outside. It's 1-1.
DeYoung looks in and just laughs at Augusta behind home plate. I mean, that pitch is right there.
He's calling it even for both sides. 1-1. Breaking ball. That's a strike on the outside corner. And it's 1-2.
Maybe it's good for these guys. Definitely simulates the big leagues.
A tight zone tonight from home plate umpire Tom Augusta. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball chopped third base side foul. And they'll do it again. Kirikov came into the evening hitting just .208 and 2 RBIs. The Kent State product who won MAC Defensive Player of the Year this past season. Still trying to get it going at the plate. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball popped up. Left side of the infield. Now drifts to shallow center. Second baseman Rispoli calls everyone off. And he makes the two-handed grab for out number 2 in the top of the sixth.
Chatham's doing a nice job of what some consider consolidating a big inning. Sometimes you say it that way when you score in the top half of an inning, something the Mariners couldn't do. They scored 3 and then they gave up 5. If you can put up that 0 after you score, it goes a long way for generating and keeping momentum.
Pitch to Castellon is outside. So the count is 1-0 on the Mariners shortstop. Now you don't want the momentum to carry on for too long. DeYoung deals. There's a line drive to center field. Dosa backs up, now comes in, and he makes the grab for out number 3. Well, you talk about shutting down a lineup after your offense goes off for 5 runs. Justin DeYoung just did that. The Mariners go 1-2-3 and still trail the A's 5-3 as we head to the home half of the sixth right here on Cape League TV. Back here at Veterans Field, And the score is 5-3 in favor of Chatham over the Mariners. Alongside Luke Brenneman, Milo Hoffman. It's still Jackson Peavy on the hill for the M's. And his first full inning of relief for the Mariners came on for Trey Williford in the last frame, when 5 runs came home to score for Chatham, which gave them their lead. And it's Galvin Paulino to start off the frame for Chatham. He's yet to be retired by the Mariners. A walk and then a single. Bats from the righty side. The lefty Peavy stands tall on the mound. He's trying to shut down this A's squad and get the Harwich lineup back up to the plate. There's the first pitch. There's a strike with the fastball in the inside corner. It's 0-1. First appearance for Jackson Peavy in a Mariner uniform this season. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, a high fly ball, shallow left field. Hotchkiss comes in, and he makes the grab. So there's one quick out in the bottom of the 6th. Peavy pitches at Georgia. Was ranked as the number 31 overall prospect out of high school. 160 strikeouts in his senior season at Peach County High School in Macon, Georgia. Now he deals to Keaton Dosa, the number 9 hitter. Pitch home. Breaking ball in the dirt. And the count is 1-0. Dosa is 0 for 1. He lined out to center, then was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Came around to score in that inning where everyone came to the plate. Here's the offering. Fastball ripped in the air, left field. Hotchkiss comes in, and he makes the grab. Second put out for the left fielder, Jackson Hotchkiss. And there's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
Good start. And this is how you got to do it. You want to speed them up and then get back to the batter's box, Mile. This could be a 2-0 game. You're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Just because Harwich had a 3-run inning, which happened to be the same 5-run inning as Chatham, I think it really slowed this thing down and made it feel like this game is dragging. It was off to a wicked fast start. So whoever can pounce in these later innings and take control is going to win.
Pitch to Rispoli. He shows bunt and pulls back. The ball is outside. Fastball at 90. And the count is 1-0 on Rispoli.
I mean, how rare is that we've now played 6 innings and all 8 combined runs have come from 1 inning?
Yep, there was no score heading into the 5th. Now it's 5-3. Here's the pitch. Fastball way upstairs, and Rispoli ducks on that one. 90 miles an hour whizzed by his head. And the count is 2-0. Rispoli looks back into his Chatham dugout. Has a few words for home plate umpire Tom Augusta and the Mariner catcher Sean James. All smiles. 2-0 on its way. Here it is. Just misses inside. Another heater. And the count is 3-0. Rispoli is 1 for 3 today. Make that 1 for 2. He walked back in the 1st. Flew out to right in the 3rd and then singled and scored in the 5th. Here's the 3-0. Way inside. Rispoli hops out of the way. And he works his 2nd walk of the evening. So what looked like to be a very quick inning for Jackson Peavy and the Mariners on the defensive side. A 2-out walk, and now the number 2 hitter in the Chatham lineup, Beto Waters, is up, playing left field today. 0 for 3. Pitch way inside again. So now that's 3 pitches out of the last 4 from Jackson Peavy that have been awfully close to hitting the batter. And the count is 1-0 on Waters. Rispoli off a first pitch. Outside slider. A little bit of a check swing there from the hitter Waters, but he did not go. Slight breeze here at Veterans Park. Fully dark, lights are on. 2-0. Fastball upstairs. And the count is 3-0.
Got to throw strikes. I understand that this may be tough on Peavy. You read his numbers, Milo. He only threw 2 1/3 innings at school. This guy hasn't pitched in forever.
3-0 pitch is down Broadway for strike number 1.
And that's the battle that guys who choose to go to the Georges of the world face in their freshman seasons.
Counts 3-1 on Waters. Here's the pitch. Fastball ripped in the air, deep to center field. Kirikov back on the track at the wall. He makes the grab to retire the side. Boy, oh boy, Bino Waters was about 5 feet from making this a 7-3 Chatham lead, but instead it's just a deep flyout. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left on base. 5-3 Chatham as we head to the 7th here on the Mariners Radio. We go to the 7th here at Veterans Park, and it's 5-3 in favor of Chatham over the Mariners, alongside Luke Brenneman, Milo Hoffman. It's still Justice DeYoung on the hill for Chatham, and he deals to 1, 2, and 3 in the Mariner lineup, starting with Colin Larson, the leadoff man. You feel like this is a moment the Mariners can start to brew up the offense once again and get the bats going. Colin Larson is 1 for 2 today, a single, a strikeout, and then he walked back in the 5th, came around to score. The righty DeYoung on the hill, kicks back and fires. Way outside, and off speed there, and the count is 1-0 on the lefty Larson.
Seems like a good time to get a rally going, Milo.
Here's the 1-0. Downstairs, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes on Larson. He came into the evening hitting .406, best mark on the Mariners. 2 home runs, tied for the best mark on the Mariners. 2-0, way upstairs, and it's 3-0. So Justice DeYoung down in the count 3-0 to the hitter Colin Larson. DeYoung has already pitched 2 innings out of the pen. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 4. 4 straight out of the zone here to begin the 7th, and the leadoff man is aboard for the M's. Second straight walk for Colin Larson. He's up to 6 of those on the season, and he is a stealing base threat over there at first base. Has 8 stolen bags, that's second most on the team. He was caught stealing, though, back in the 1st. Corbin Reynolds, the Chatham catcher, has proven to have a gun back there. Pitch home. There's a slasher foul by the hitter Jackson Hotchkiss. And it's 0-1 on the left fielder.
He's been the best Mariner today. 2 for 3. Had the 3-run home run in the 5th inning. Got things going. See if he can tie us up here now in the 7th.
Yeah, went to the short porch out there and right 314 down the line. Check back to Larson is not in time. They've read the scouting report. They know that Larson has some wheels on him, the Boston College product over there. Hotchkiss 2 for 3 today. Here's the 0-1. Outside with the breaking ball, and the count's 1-1. What a beautiful night here at Veterans Park. Lights are on. Time reads 9:05. This game started at 7. 5-3 Chatham. Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. And the count's 1-2. Hotchkiss is now 3 of 8 to begin his Mariner career. A pair of extra base hits as well. Check back to Larson at first is not in time. Crowd has dwindled down just a bit, but still an excellent crowd on hand. These bleachers right in front of us, people sitting on the outfield grass. 1-2, swinging a ground ball, third base side foul. Hotchkiss hit 20 home runs this past season at the University of Washington, one of 3 Huskies to ever hit that mark. Now he's transferring over to Arizona State University for this next and upcoming season. Here's the 1-2. Check back to first before it comes, and it gets by the first baseman Hovader. It trickles into right field. Larson takes second, rounds the bag, and he'll hold on there. So a costly mistake from the pitcher Justice DeYoung, and now the Mariners have a runner in scoring position. Still nobody out in the top of the 7th, and Chatham holds a 5-3 lead. There's the 1-2 to Hotchkiss. Swing and a miss. One gone in the top of the 7th. A nice breaking ball there from DeYoung. Larson stays put at second base. And it looks like there's going to be a meeting on the mound. A signal to the bullpen for Chatham. And A's manager Dennis Cook will take the ball from Justice DeYoung. The Mariners have a runner at second base in Colin Larson. They trail 5-3 here with one gone in the top of the 7th, and we'll step aside here from Veterans Field and be right back on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Back here at Veterans Field, we're still in the top of the 7th as the Chatham A's make a call to the bullpen. The new pitcher on the hill is Oliver Pudvar, making his 3rd appearance this summer. Has pitched 9 innings to a 4.00 ERA, 8 strikeouts, and 3 walks. He pitches his summer or collegiate ball at Connecticut. Just finished his redshirt junior season. And he made 14 starts, 74 innings pitched, 50 strikeouts, 23 walks, and a 4.12 ERA. So someone who really pitched a whole bunch this past season at UConn. Now he's in a bit of a jam. Deals to Ty Smolinski, the Mariners DH. Left-on-left matchup, Larson off of second. 5-3 the score. Here's the pitch. Smolinski fouls it back. It's 0-1 on the Mariners' number 3 hitter.
Yeah, Larson advancing to second on the air from the pitcher DeYoung on the check back to first. It makes the Hotchkiss strikeout sting that much more because you really should have a runner at third if that's a productive out.
0-1 inside, and the count is 1-1. Ty is the tying run at the dish. Infield play to the pull side for the righty, Smolinski. Here's the 1-1. Fastball chop, foul down the first base line, and the count is 2-1. Smolinski so far today is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Very unlike Ty, who came into the ballgame hitting a team best .351. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that was actually the 2-2 pitch, and that means Smolinski is down swinging. He struck out 4 times tonight, and there's 2 gone. Larson stays put at second base, and the hitter now Cade Curlin, the second baseman. He's 1 for 3 so far today. Trying to come through for the M's right here in the 7th pitch. It is a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. A big shift on the righty in the box. Big hole between first and second base on the right side. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball just barely outside, so the count is 1-1.
About that interesting pitching move from Dennis Cook. He pulled DeYoung after he was scoreless, just 1 hit, and he had just struck out Hotchkiss.
Yeah, Dennis Cook, quick pull. That pitch is inside, gets away from the catcher. Reynolds, Larson to third, no throw. So now Colin Larson has advanced to second on an error and to third on the wild pitch. And just like that, the M's have a runner on third. Still 2 gone, though. Top of the 7th, 5-3 A's lead it here at Veterans Field. 2-1's the count. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul right back. It's 2-2. Curland is 1 for 3 today.
Would go a really long way in these latter innings here, Milo, to cut this lead in half with just a base knock right here.
That would bring home a run. Mariners down by 2. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball down the right field line, twisting into foul territory. Johnson there, and he doesn't have a play. It bounces about a foot beside him. He ranged and made that a close call, but just a foul. And the count is still 2-2 on Curland.
At 3:14, right field fence comes into play a lot quicker than you would think. I mean, that is a fly ball. It is not hard hit. It is slicing down the line.
Yeah, all right, Luke, let's stop right there. I'm a Yankee fan, so 3:14 down the right field line at Yankee Stadium is the same mark as here. So, you know, a short porch is even for everyone. Everyone has a chance to hit it out.
Everyone.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Off speed. Fooled Cade Curland. And the Mariners strand Larson over at third. No hits, no runs, and 1 man left on base. Still 5-3 Chatham. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, it's stretch time. We'll be right back on Cape League TV. After a very exciting and riveting edition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game here at Veterans Field, played by the PA announcer and a couple of kids who volunteered, we head to the bottom of the 7th. 5-3 Chatham on top. New pitcher on the hill for Harwich is Brian Matushat, making his 3rd appearance of the season. A 5.79 ERA in 4 2/3 innings pitched. He fires home. Fastball's fouled right back by the hitter Connor Schaus, and it's 0-1 on the Chatham DH. 0 for 2 on the day. He did walk his last time up and came around to score in that crooked 5th inning when the A's put up 5 runs. Here's the pitch home. Fastball misses outside, and the count's 1-1. That 5th inning is the only inning that any runs have been scored.
I have a feeling that's going to change. Looking for a 1-2-3 frame here. Get the Mariners up to bat.
Here's the pitch. Fastball chopped on the ground, shortstop side. Castellone charges, gloves, and fires to first in time. And there's one gone here in the bottom of the 7th.
Good start here for Matushat. He's kind of a guy that we've seen him have success in just eating up innings. Not so much volume in that department, bringing him in here in the 7th inning, but just make it easy. No stress. He's a guy who does throw strikes. It was a little bit tricky to end the 6th inning when it was fly out to start it from Peavy out of the bullpen, and then he walked one, and things were getting interesting in the 3-0 count with the eventual last out Waters.
There's the hitter, Cooper Neville, the shortstop. Pitch is outside with the off speed, and it's 1-0 on Neville. And Matushat hails from Point Pleasant, New Jersey, about an hour outside of New York City. Pitched last season at Sacred Heart, now in the transfer portal. He fires home. Swinging a chopper right side of the infield, playable for the second baseman, Kurland. He's there, gloves, and fires to first in time. So 2 groundouts induced by the pitcher, Matushat, and there's 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th.
Exactly what you're looking for, Milo. Just a guy who's going to come in, attack hitters, throw strikes. We've hyped up Chatham a lot tonight, but at the end of the day, they're still under 500 in their first 10 games. And on any given night in a sport like this, a league like this, anyone can win. But I think the Mariners, when they were picking around the A's tonight, I think the biggest thing that I look to is the 6 walks that Harwich has surrendered.
Pitch home to Jackson is a swing and a miss. Make that Johnson the right fielder. It's 0-1 on Cole Johnson. He's 1 for 3 today. Seems like every time I look down at the lineup card, it's 1 for 3 or 1 for 2, and the hit came in the 5th. Everyone came to bat for the A's. 0-1 is outside. 1-1.
Yeah, that was an infectious rally. But you still look up at the scoreboard, Milo. The Mariners are out hitting Chatham 6-4. For Harwich, just been that one big hit, the 3-run blast from Hotchkiss.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball way outside, and the count's 2-1.
Good start here in the 7th for Matushat, but pitching can't win the game tonight for the Mariners. It's going to have to be a comeback effort. We haven't really seen one of these in the later innings this summer.
There's the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, and the count is 3-1. And the Mariners had that big comeback against Katuitt a little over a week ago. But yeah, the M's have really played with a lead for the majority of the season. Here's the 3-1 offering. Fastball misses inside. That's ball 4 to Cole Johnson, the right fielder. He's aboard for the 2nd straight time. And that brings up Harlan Hoveder, the first baseman of Chatham.
Kind of in a description of the way tonight has gone. Quick out. You start the inning, you can smell 1, 2, 3, and then just a walk.
Yep.
And it slows things down. It gives Chatham a little bit of life. And credit to the Anglers, they capitalized in the 5th inning with life that came from an error for the first baseman, O'Leary.
2 out walks can kill you. Here's the pitch to the first baseman. That's a strike on the inside corner. So it's 0-1. This past year at Sacred Heart, Matushat pitched 80 innings, 13 starts. So not a guy that's used to coming out of the bullpen. 41 strikeouts, 20 walks. Check back to the runner at first base, and Johnson is not in time. Doesn't have the highest velocity. Pitches high 80s, low 90s. But a crafty guy, 4-pitch mix. He comes set at the letters. 5-3 Chatham. Check back to first. Not in time. In the bottom of the 7th. 10 combined hits between these two sides. 6 by the Mariners, 4 by the A's. Count 0-1. Johnson off of first. 2 gone. Here's the offering. That's outside. A little side shuffle delivery there from Matushat. Trying to prevent any stolen bases from Johnson over at first. He does not have a stolen base so far this season. So not necessarily a steal threat. 1-1. Swinging a chopper. Second base side. Kurland is there. Gloves at the knees. Fires to first in time. And that does it here in the bottom of the 7th. Chatham strands 1 runner aboard in Johnson. No hits and no errors. Still 5-3 A's as we head to the 8th here on the Harwich Mariners Radio Network.
It's the start of the 8th, so let's take a look at scores across the Cape, presented by the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism. The Bourne Braves just walked off the Brewster Whitecaps, a final of 6-5. That was in Bourne. Orleans falls to Catuit in 8 innings, 3-2, a low-scoring bout. Wareham picks up their 3rd win in 11 games, a 4-2 win over Falmouth. And YD, a machine that does not seem to be slowing down, beats Hyannis 6-4. They're now 10-1 on the summer. The Mariners in solo second place coming into tonight in Chatham, 7-3 for record. But we welcome you into the Mariners Radio Network here. The top of the 8th, Harwich trails the Anglers 5-3. And it's Peltier, O'Leary, and James. First pitch swinging, Peltier. Ground ball to short. Neville's on it, fires to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. Said that a couple times tonight. Harwich has been aggressive, but it's not really panning out. 6 hits, good for 3 runs for the M's. We've left 7 guys on base now into the 8th inning, and here's Sean O'Leary.
I don't mind the first pitch swinging approach, but when it doesn't work, you start to question it a little bit.
Pudvar's the pitcher. Comes home, first pitch fastball, called a strike at the knees to O'Leary. Remember, O'Leary came into this game for Charlie Bussey in the 5th inning as a pinch hitter and a defensive replacement. He's 0 for 1. He made a big error defensively. 0-1, a hanging breaking ball cut on and missed. O'Leary tried to hit that ball to the fire station down the right field line. And now he's down 0-2. Crowd does like to die out of here. The 0-2, low and away, a nice take, extends the at-bat. With these 7 o'clock starts, it's popping at the start of the game, but you really see who the real fans here are around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the later innings. 1-2, outside, fastball, evens the count 2-2.
I was going to say the last hurrah for a lot of fans, it seems, is that 7th inning stretch, take me out to the ball game, and now it seems to start to die out.
2-2, that's down low, and after falling behind 0-2, Sean O'Leary has worked this count full. Next up is the catcher Sean James. See if the Mariners can get something going with 1 out, trailing by 2. Payoff pitch, down and in, ball 4. 4 consecutive pitches outside of the zone after Pudvar got ahead of Sean O'Leary, 0-2. And that's a big one-out walk for the M's in the 8th.
And this past season, Pudvar walked 23 batters in 74 innings at UConn. So he does seem to have difficulty locating the strike zone at times.
Pudvar came into this game with 1 out in the 7th inning. First pitch to James, fouled away down the right field line. He struck out Smolinski, then struck out Curlin to end the inning, and then started this one with a 1-pitch ground out to short off the bat of J.P. Peltier. O'Leary off of first base, 1 down. 0-1 the count to the right-handed catcher Sean James. Pudvar kicks and fires. The 0-1 sliced back. 0-2. James was late on the fastball. We've seen the Mariners win 7 times this summer in just their first 10 games, but have we seen Harwich pull off a heroic win in the later innings? 0-2. Hard hit up the middle, diving play by Neville. It gets away from him. That's an infield hit for the catcher Sean James, his 2nd of the night. And don't look now, but the M's have first and second with just 1 out, trailing by a pair here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, nice piece of contact after James scorched it to shortstop. I mean, off the barrel. And it would have been a really nice play by Neville.
It's the bottom of the order who's up right now for the M's. Here's Kirikoff hitting 8th, playing center. Micah is 0 for 2 tonight. Drew a walk in his first at-bat of the game in the 2nd. Pudvar comes home. First pitch, swing and a miss. That fastball was belt high. Kirikoff couldn't connect. It was Jackson Hotchkiss in his 2nd game in Harwich who had the 3-run home run in the 5th inning of this one. That's the only Mariners run so far tonight. 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1. Hotchkiss is the only Mariner with 2 hits tonight. Harwich has drawn a plethora of walks. They're now up to 6, something they do better than anyone else on Cape Cod. Pudvar from the stretch, the 1-1. That's right there, called strike 2. All 8 runs of this contest came back in the 5th inning. It was 3 in the top half for the M's, then 5 in the bottom half for Chatham. They hit around in their lineup. Nothing since. 1-2 to Kirikoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pudvar struck him out. Went to the changeup, low and away in the left-on-right matchup. And now 2 down. Runners stay put at first and second here in the 8th.
Yeah, just right on by him. Kirikoff had a tough time locating that pitch out of the arm. And a big strikeout here for Chatham.
Here's Castellón in his Mariner debut. First pitch, liner towards right. It's sinking quickly. Johnson lets it bounce. It's a base hit. The bases are loaded. The stop sign was on after a hesitant jump from Bussey, O'Leary, who was at second, even in a 2-out situation. That's Castellón's first hit as a Harwich Mariner this summer in his debut at Veterans Field in Chatham. But more importantly, it's Colin Larson who's up, a 2-run game. Harwich trails in the top of the 8th inning, and the bases are loaded for the hottest hitter in all of Cape Cod. But before that, the pitching coach Jay Powell will come out for a meeting on the mound.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, this is what you want right now if you're the Mariners. Credit to Castellón. Ever since that first ground out to shortstop, he had the bases loaded, didn't come up with a big hit. He walked, hit a sharp line drive to center field, and now the hit finally drops for the Cal Poly kid. But, I mean, this is it right now. Colin Larson has been red hot. Homers in back-to-back games. Can he come through once more for the Mariners?
Colin Larson was 4 for 4 last night. He's hit a home run in back-to-back games, and so far tonight he's reached base in 3 out of 4 plate appearances. A Massachusetts kid who plays college ball at BC. First pitch called a strike right down the middle. That was the fastball. A base hit most likely ties us up. The 0-1, it's in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Corbin Reynolds, and the count's even at a ball and a strike. Left on left, Pudvar still in, the lefty out of UConn. Castellón at first, Sean James at second, Sean O'Leary off of third base. They're loaded for the M's. The 1-1 pitch. Called a strike on the outside corner, and a tight strike zone all night. just got a little bit wider here in the 8th, and the Chatham home fans love it. 1-2 on Larson.
This is where Colin Larson goes to work.
1-2. Outside, no doubt about that slider. And now it's 2-2. Hotchkiss is next if we get there. That'd be great news for the M's if Larson can find his way on. But the way he's swinging it right now, can he stay hot? 2-2 pitch. Ground ball towards second base right at Rispoli. A routine play. And for the second time tonight, the Mariners leave the bases loaded. It's still 5-3 Chatham. We're going to the bottom of the 8th on the Mariners Radio Network. We're back here in the bottom of the 8th in Chatham. And the Anglers lead the Mariners 5-3. Harwich left the bases loaded for the second time tonight with nobody coming across to score. But it hurts even more in the top of the 8th inning. Trident Trivia question of the day came in the earlier innings. The question was, what Mariner position player is the highest Mariner to ever be drafted in the Major League Baseball draft? If you guessed Joey Bart, he was the number 2 overall pick in 2018. And Joey Bart, he's been in the bigs ever since. Played a long time, was drafted by the Pirates, and now he's on the Atlanta Braves, who hold one of the best records in the National League. But for now, we're here in Chatham. It's the bottom of the 8th. The Anglers lead the Mariners 5-3. And it's 7, 8, and 9 due up for the A's. Brian Matachat back out there for his second inning out of the Mariner pen. Tossed a scoreless 7th to keep us in it. And now it's time to see if he can do the same in the 8th. Here's Corbin Reynolds, right on right matchup. Matachat from the windup, first pitch chopper, third base side, foul ball. Alongside Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. We appreciate you tuning in all the way until the very end. This is a good one tonight in Chatham, a weird one. Mentioned so many times that all the runs in this game came in one inning. But whether that's big league baseball, college baseball, Cape League baseball, you just rarely ever see something like that, especially 8 runs. The 0-1, tapped foul, nothing in 2.
It's like
maybe if it was 2-1.
Right, exactly. It's like a line split. Right there, you divide it with that 8-run inning combined between the two sides. Other than that, offense has been quiet, but there have been runners on.
Matachat looks in. He's ahead 0-2 on the Chatham catcher. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball outside. Count goes to 1-2. Harwich won last night at Hyannis 10-6. The Mariners had 13 hits in that win. Tonight, Harwich has been held to just 8 hits, good for 3 runs. Chatham, though, 5 runs, only 4 hits. 2-strike pitch. That hit him in the back. A breaking ball got away from Matachat's throwing hand, and Corbin Reynolds earns first base on the hit by pitch. That's the 3rd time Reynolds has reached tonight. He's got on with a walk, an air, and now a hit by pitch.
He's yet to pick up that hit, but, I mean, you're on 3 times. You'll take that. Yet to pick up that hit, but, I mean, you're on 3 times. You'll take that.
Here's Tyler Lichtenberg. He's pinch hitting for Kelvin Paulino. First pitch fouled away over our heads, 0-1. So So Matachat gets ahead here of Lichtenberg with the runner off of first base. Lichtenberger, 6-foot rising junior, plays his college ball at Clemson. Matachat checks on the runner at first. Nothing doing over there. Reynolds back with a dive. Kelvin Paulino, who was the starter at third base before Lichtenberger just came in to pinch hit. He was 1 for 2 with a single. He scored a run and walked. Pitch, wave, and a miss. Matachat ahead 0-2. Lichtenberger at Clemson played in 57 games, hit .272 for average, knocked in 27. Transferred to Clemson after a freshman year at App State. Now he's in the Cape League. Matachat from the stretch. Check on the runner. That was a nice move. Still nothing doing over there with Reynolds. Mind you, that's a catcher in Reynolds. He has not stolen a base on the Cape thus far. Mariners got a gift tonight. Chatham didn't even play their best player. That's Gabe Frazier out of Florida State. 0-2. Sliced foul. Frazier is dealing with transfer portal stuff, and as that all figures out, he's off. Apparently until Wednesday, which could be a really big deal for the A's.
I mean, this proves that Chatham is really good. I mean, they're a good ball club right now. Doing well and picking up slack for, like you just said, their best guy not even on the field.
0-2 pitch. Tapper back to the pitching mound. Matachat's there. His only plays to first, and he made it. So Reynolds advances from first to second. There's one out on the Lichtenberger ground out to the pitcher Matachat, and that'll bring up Caden Dosa. This is Dosa's 4th plate appearance. He's 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch and scored in the big 5th inning rally.
Yeah, nice play right there from Matachat. Maybe thought he had a chance at firing to second base, but just nice and collected to not even force that. Just get the out.
So the pinch hit attempt is unsuccessful, but a productive out because it advances Reynolds into scoring position. Chatham looking for more insurance here in what they hope to be their last time up at the plate. First pitch to Dosa, cut on and fouled away. 0-1. The pitching trio tonight for Harwich, it was the lefty starter Trey Williford. He was pitching no-hit baseball into the 5th inning. His line ends at 4 1/3, 2 hits, 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. He struck out 6, but walked 4. Then Jackson Peavy came in when inning and 2/3, 2-hit, no-run baseball. 0-1, chopped into the foot of Dosa, and now it's 0-2. But that doesn't really tell the whole story because Peavy going scoreless in an inning and 2/3, yes, it's the way that the scoring works, but Williford had only sacrificed 2 runs when he came out of the game. There was 1 out with the bases loaded, and Peavy came in this game, gave up a double to Cooper Neville and then a single to Cole Johnson, and that cleared the bases, and all 3 of those earns were added to Williford's tally. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, third base side, foul. We'll do it again. This is the bottom of the order for Chatham. On deck is Rob Rispoli, the leadoff man. Pretty much everybody has gotten out of here besides the fans behind home plate and the bleachers, but the cavalry on the hill out in center field and right field. Maybe a couple dozen left. 0-2, ground ball towards short. A long throw for Castellon from the hole, and it pulls the first baseman O'Leary off the bag. Another error tonight for the Mariner defense. That's the second one. And Castellon can't make a play. Runners on the corners as Reynolds goes from second to third. Dosa reaches on the air. And the top of the order up for Chatham, looking to tack on to a 5-3 lead.
Yeah, you just can't afford mistakes like that. And Nick Castellon has been a very smooth-handed shortstop. That with Cal Poly, the Mariners so far today, but just pulling O'Leary off the bag right there.
Here's Rob Rispoli. Runners at the corners with just 1 out for Chatham. First pitch. Checked his swing. It was called a strike. And it's 0-1. Something that you can quickly pick up just after watching Rispoli play is he's kind of the captain of this team. He called a couple mound visits on his own against the starter Duke Stone. In the first couple innings, this is Duke Stone's first start here. 0-1. Rispoli shows bunt. The pitch is dropped. It was called a ball from the catcher Sean James. but he's able to get there and keep the runner at bay. Reynolds at third. So the count goes to 1-1. But back to Rispoli. And that's some serious leadership, if you ask me. Duke Stone's an all ACC pitcher, or SEC pitcher. Struck out 100-plus guys. He knows what he's doing. But Rispoli at a UConn, still talking him up. Infield comes in, 1-1, swing and a miss. Matishat looking for the punch out here. The runner Dosa stole second base. So now it's second and third for the Anglers. Just one out, a 1-2 count, up by 2 in the 8th inning. Matishat comes home. Just off the outside corner, and the strike zone, it's consistent. It's tight, 2-2.
Yeah, that was really close. Some screaming from the Mariner dugout.
Steve Englert looks like he's about to explode in that first base side dugout. Matishat, 2-2. In the dirt, another good take that time from Rispoli, and the count goes full. The count's full. First base is open with Bino Waters on deck. See what Matishat goes to. Payoff pitch, popped up, right field side, foul, and that ditches play. This is some kind of battle, and we've seen Rob Rispoli for the Anglers do this all night. I mean, heck, he kicked off this game with an 8-pitch at-bat. It resulted in a walk. Singled back in the 5th, RBI hit, walked in the 6th. Looking for his 3rd walk of the game, maybe his 2nd hit. Payoff again. That's outside ball 4, and I just don't really know where that's missing. The bases are loaded.
Wow. I mean, just so close. So close. He's kept it consistent for the most part, but obviously the Mariners would have liked to have that. Now, the middle of the infield backs up for a potential double play. It looks like the corners are going to stay in. Peltier on the infield grass, the third baseman. O'Leary kind of half and half, and now Englert out of the dugout.
Steve Englert's calling a mound visit. I don't see anyone getting ready in the Mariner bullpen.
Yeah, I don't think Matishat's coming out of this game.
So the entire infield collapses here. Englert talking to Matishat. Matishat's just not a guy who's prone to walking hitters, which maybe for you guys listening on the radio at home right now, it puts into perspective that in a battle against a really good hitter who obviously has a good high, Rispoli walks for the 3rd time tonight. It's just one of those situations that you have to be pinpoint accurate to get called strikes tonight with the home plate umpire, Tom Augusta. So the infield goes back. The corner's still a little bit in, especially Peltier at 3rd. Here's the left fielder, Waters. Bases loaded, 1 out, first pitch. Ground ball, first base. O'Leary tags the bag, throws to second. Is the tag down? A double play. A 3-6 double play. And Chatham and the home plate umpire, Tom Augusta, is saying that the run is going to count. Wow. Because before the tag got down on Rispoli at second base, apparently Corbin Reynolds scored from 3rd. The scoreboard here still reads 5-3, but we'll be back in the top of the 9th with the official score. Steve Englert is out of the dugout right now, and a night where not much has gone the Mariners' way, another really bad break may have just happened in the bottom of the 8th. Come back in the top of the 9th. Can the M's come back against the Anglers? We'll be right back on the Mariners Radio Network. Welcome back to Chatham. The Mariners trail 6-3. It's the top of the ninth, and Harwich is down to their final 3 outs. Just a heads up, this broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. New arm into the game for the A's. It's Max Luzaraga. Luzaraga, the big right-hander, 6'2", 220, out of Dallas Baptist. He's from Matthews, North Carolina. That's 20 minutes southeast of Charlotte. But the Mariners have a lot of work to do. They give up a run even though they turn an inning-ending double play in the bottom of the 8th inning. And now in the top of the 9th, it's 2, 3, and 4 due up for the M's. Hotchkiss, Smolinski, and Kurland. Here's Hotchkiss to kick things off. These would be the 3 that you could start something with, but the Mariners trail by 3, so it's going to take a lot of people. Right on right. Luzaraga comes home. First pitch cut on and missed. Fastball at 91 on the radar gun. 0-1. Hotchkiss has had a really solid night. 2 for 4 in just his second game of the summer on Cape Cod. Had a single in the 3rd and a 3-run homer back in the 5th inning. Luzaraga looks in and fires home. 0-1, hanging breaking ball. That's up and in. And the count's even to Hotchkiss, 1-1. And the one consistency of tonight, besides all the runs, outside of the A's, 1 most recently in the bottom of the 8th, coming in the 5th inning, is a tight strike zone. Hotchkiss reaches for a pitch in the dirt, can't connect, and now he's down 1-2. So to my point, Milo, maybe you see a few and try and get on base.
I mean, you need to. You're not going to tie this game with a solo home run. You need base runners.
Hotchkiss down 1-2. No batting gloves. Right side, the pitch just caught a piece straight back into the netting behind home plate. And we'll see another 1-2. Luzaraga, coming off a freshman season at Dallas Baptist, appeared 15 times, didn't start a game, a 3.04 ERA, and 23 2/3 innings. Really solid freshman year. Gave up 3 home runs, a sub-200 batting average against. 1-2 up high. Look out, Hotchkiss. By his head, evens the count at 2-2. Good matchup here. Luzaraga, teammates with the Chatham shortstop this season, Cooper Neville. Now Neville's headed to Alabama because of the transfer portal. 2-2 pitch. Hotchkiss takes inside. The count's now full. Could be a turning point in this 9th inning. If the Mariners are going to get something going, trailing by 3 with just 3 outs to work with, you got to think it might have to start with the leadoff man. He's been the best Mariner so far tonight. 3 runs batted in. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a foul straight back. A battle here to kick off the 9th inning. Chatham came into this one with a pitching staff number 3 in Cape Cod, a 3.94 team earned run average. Harwich came in at number 5, right on the button at 4.00. 6-3, Chatham leads, top of the 9th. Luzaraga comes home, 3-2 pitch, right past him. A swing and a miss at a high fastball. 93 on the radar gun. Hotchkiss strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. And the 9th inning starts with a punch-out, 1 down.
Yeah, it was a good at-bat from Hotchkiss. He was in there, battled all the way back, but just not enough speed in that swing just then for the fastball.
Now it's Smolinski's turn. Talk about a tough night. 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Right on left matchup. Luzaraga kicks and fires. First pitch, breaking ball right down the middle. Called strike 1. You hope this is just one of those games for Ty that, well, maybe you don't say he wasn't seeing the ball well, but just not all the way there. He's not looking like himself. See if he can bounce back in the 9th. 0-1 swing and a miss. Not even close. 0-2.
I mean, he's the DH today. Doesn't normally DH. Normally plays either shortstop or second base. So a different look in terms of the mentality going into the game.
You just don't see this guy strike out much. He hits the ball to all parts of the yard. 0-2. Outside. Smolinski will see another pitch. Cade Kurland on deck. Peltier after him if we can get there here in the Mariner 9th inning. Harwich comes in, winners in 2 in a row. 1-2. Smolinski pops it up sky high, shallow center field. Playable by the shortstop Neville. He catches it behind the second base bag in the outfield grass. And Harwich is down to their final out. That's an 0 for 5 night with 4 Ks from Smolinski. Not much offense tonight from Harwich. You can get fooled maybe by the 8 hits on the scoreboard. Looking through the book here, Milo, 3 infield hits. And the only extra base hit is Hotchkiss's home run. And they got even more guys on base because they drew a lot of walks. Curlin swings and misses at a high fastball. Is at bat, kicks off 0-1. Stay tuned, Mariner fans. An exciting time. Yes, the Mariners are 7-3. Could fall to 7-4 here and one more out. But a lot of new guys getting in town this week. Curlin fights one off foul. And after being down to the Mariners' final out in this at-bat, Curlin and the M's are down to their final strike tonight at Veterans Field. Chatham looking to improve to 5-5 on the 7-4 here and one more out. But a lot of new guys getting in town this week. Curlin fights one off foul. And after being down to the Mariners' final out in this at-bat, Curlin and the M's are down to their final strike tonight at Veterans Field. Chatham looking to improve to 5-5 on the early summer on the Cape. Luzaraga kicks and fires the 0-2. He struck him out. The Anglers win it 6-3. A pitching masterclass at home for Chatham. And the bullpen squirts out to center field. There's 25 guys going out there to celebrate with the starting outfield. It was all Chatham from the bottom of the 5th and on tonight. They won this one 6-0 ever since the Mariners went up by 3 in the top of the 5th. A disappointing one. It snaps a 2-game winning streak, but kind of one that's on the Mariners, Milo. They left a lot of guys on base tonight. Left the bases loaded twice. 10 total left on base.
Yeah.
You just can't do that if you want to win in this league.
No, they struck out 13 times this evening, so that's a high number. A night that the Mariners would like to forget. Ty Smolinski 0 for 5, very unlike him. So just overall, the Mariners kind of lackluster on this evening at Veterans Field. It was a packed house. Excellent energy from the home crowd fans. And listen, it's going to happen. Mariners need to bounce back tomorrow against Bourne back at White House Field. It's a long season, and you're going to have losses like this where the offense just doesn't seem to really click. Tonight was one of those nights. So Harwich needs to bounce back tomorrow, and they have a chance to do so. But again, another really, fun, energetic crowd here at Veterans Field. First time here for the Mariners this season. But yeah, too many men left on base tonight. A big reason why they lost.
We're going to say so long. This is a stretch, if you go back to yesterday, is going to be 8 in a row games for the M's. Mariners will be back in action tomorrow night against the Bourne Braves. Got a big walk-off win against the Mariners' East Division foe, Brewster Whitecaps team, who's been playing good baseball. Bourne leads the Western Division now with 5 wins. So